Hello, and welcome to another episode of Manifest the RPG.
I can't believe he did it.
I'm Tommy.
I'm shocked myself.
I'm Tommy Cotton. With me, as always, are Dan Barron, Addie Gia, Seth Lilly, Roman Mylan, and we're here to play some Manifest. But before we jump into any sort of actual play or recap, I think we have some announcements. I believe starting with Dan.
Oh, sure. We could do it this way this time. Yeah, so every month we pick a charity we feel strongly about and we signal boost them. If you have the platform or the time or the money to give anything to them, we would love it because they do good work, and anything you can help them do is great. This month our charity is RAINN. It's RAINN. They're the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. They operate the National Sexual Assault Hotline. They run programs to prevent sexual violence, help survivors, and bring perpetrators to justice. They have a 24/7 helpline available at rainn.org. You should head to that website and check them out. They're a great organization. They do a lot of really great stuff. That's my part.
You did it. So it's me next.
Now I tag Addie.
Oh, so
I don't think it works on the Twitch stream.
It doesn't work at all. We are next
You are next to each other. You just have to do opposite.
Yeah.
I have to do the other way?
Yeah.
I'm here to remind you that there is a cool subscribe button down below, as well as a follow button. If you want to know when we go live, which is every week at this time, sometimes even earlier, on time, then you can get a notification pushed to your phone, computer, or anywhere else you get notifications. We are also on a bunch of social media. We have a Facebook page and a Twitter, and they tell me we also have an Instagram. Yeah.
It's phenomenal. The Instagram.
We have stuff that we can start to put on it, though, which I'm pretty excited about.
Lots of really interesting things happening on the Instagram. Definitely go check it out.
We also have a Finstagram where we post about like parties and gossip, and, like stuff we don't want everybody to know about, and you can't find it.
Good luck. The first clue is in the Instagram.
But you can head over to Manifest the RPG or on Twitter at Manifest RPG to check those out and follow us for updates. We also have a Kickstarter link, which is /Manifest the RPG. You can always go read about how we've gotten to this point by going there and getting cool updates on the RPG itself and how eventually you can get a hold of a copy for yourself. I think that's it for me. Now we're over to Tommy to talk about some channel point stuff.
Yeah, as I see that people are exploring the new emotes we have. I see a lot of decks in the chat. So we got so much support last week. It skyrocketed our subscriber points. And we were able to unlock new emote slots. So as you can see right there, Argetlam just did it. Anyone who has a tier 1 sub can now have access to an emote of each of the characters: Porter, Dex, Gus, and Eloise. Those of you who have a tier 2 sub also get access to the lovely misfire emote, which feels wildly necessary given how many misfires.
I don't like how you said that. What are you implying?
Look, listen, this stream has a lot of misfires. The stream as a whole,
in total, all of us
spread across everyone, there are a large number of misfires on stream.
On average, we all misfire at least once a stream.
I don't like that phrasing.
Yeah, so we have the misfire emote for tier 2 subs. There is a tier 3 emote. Unfortunately, it's still pending. So you can't use it in the chat right now. However, it's the perfect segue into your channel points, because if you want a preview of that emote, It is the symbol that is right over the expenditure of your channel points to give grit to the GM. There's a little chibi Tommy there with a cowboy hat. So that's going to be the tier 3 emote once it is done being processed. I half think it might be done processing like midway through this stream. So we'll see if it unlocks halfway through the stream. But that leads me right to the channel points. Down at the bottom left of your chat, there's the viewer grit button. You can click on that. You gain viewer grit by watching by just watching the stream, by continuously tuning in every week. Subscriptions make you gain more. Gifting subs once a month can give you lots of channel points, and you can spend those to interact with the game. One of the things we have right now for you to interact with the game is you can give grit to the players or the GM. For 1,500 channel points, you can give a grit to an individual character, but for a low cost of 1,000 channel points, you can give grit to the GM. And when I spend grit, they get grit, so it's kind of like getting it for them at a discount. Other things to note about buying grit, we have these little grit counters in the top left of our screen. Players max out at 12, so there's no point in buying them grit when they are at 12. I, the GM, have no such limitations, and you can just buy me grit forever. So again, just another reason why buying grit for the GM is superior in every way. All right, so now that that's taken care of, I do see that we have some people cashing in their viewer grit to give +1 grit to Gus, +1 grit to Eloise, +1 grit to Dex, +1 grit to Porter. And oh god, okay, so that's just from Arget Lom.
That's
so
right.
I'm gonna do that.
Arget Lom.
And then so that means Dex is at 9. Eloise is at 9. Porter is at 6. And Gus is at 10. And then we have an additional +1 grit to Eloise from Ryak and an additional +1 grit to Porter from Fiddler Undone.
Thanks, Fiddler. I am gonna need it. You're right.
With some choice use of emotes there. So that puts Eloise up to 10 as well. And Porter up to 7. And then Random Jerk coming in with a +1 grit to the GM. Thank you, Random Jerk. Let's put myself there tonight. All right. So yeah, we will have that third tier 3 emote will become available. If not this in the middle of this stream, it will definitely be available next stream. And from there, that's the rundown of all the channel points. So the only last announcement we have is just a little bit of self promotion for the streamers here. We got Addy, Gia, myself, and Roman all got things going on outside of the Manifest stream. We're just gonna take a minute to bend your ear. So Addy, how about you go first?
Oh, sure. Yeah, so my thing is not necessarily a new thing, but it is just a little plug. I currently run games for a great company called Tabletail Games. And they are awesome, and I actually run RPG, mostly D&D games, on their platform. So if you're looking for a place to play online and you want to play with me or some of our other really great GMs, you can head over to tabletailgames.com and take a look. It's a really good time, and I run some really awesome campaigns for some really cool people, and the community is bonkers awesome. So if you want a phenomenal time playing some D&D, join me over there. That's it. I do it.
And for myself, it's another repeat little plug right up there at the top of my screen. The Jolly Poncho, that is my video game streaming channel. I stream on Twitch. I also play or I'm on Twitter, and I got a TikTok that's just popping off. So search the Jolly Poncho on all sorts of different social media and you'll find me. I stream every Saturday right now, but in a couple weeks that might expand. I might do some more streams than just Saturday. And I have some co-streams coming up as well with some other cool streamers. So if you haven't already, go check out that channel. It's fun. It's currently, I believe, hosting this channel. So
you might recognize some voices on that channel from this channel.
Yeah, I play games with Dan, Roman, and Addy a lot. Never Seth, though. Seth is too cool. One of these days, we're going to play Among Us, and Seth and I are going to rock out. But
I'm going to destroy.
I fear that day. I fear that day. I'm going to get destroyed, just totally murdered.
But yeah, so that's my little self promo. And what about you, Roman? What you got going on in your life?
Yeah, so I've got a podcast with my brother and one of my best friends called All Sequels Go to Heaven, where we watch movies at the ends of franchises. Like, hey, where did that franchise end up? We're here to tell you. And episode 99 is coming out this week on Cars 3. See how Lightning McQueen ended up after becoming a spy in the second one. What's he do? Well, he goes back to racing, but it's good. We talk a lot about how the Joker is a staff writer for the other villains of Gotham. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. It comes out tomorrow. Comes out on Wednesdays, and ahead of our episode 100 next week about the timeless classic Meet Joe Black.
I'm so excited for the Meet Joe Black episode, y'all. I am
so good.
It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited.
Every 100 episode, we get one for us that's not a sequel, and we picked a 3-hour Brad Pitt movie with like a 45% Rotten Tomatoes rating because I don't know what we're doing over there. But please.
You
Please
could not have
check us
chosen better. It is an amazing, it's an amazing movie that will change your opinion about peanut butter.
I
Yes,
mean,
it will.
Especially involving Brad Pitt for sure.
Oh,
What a
the peanut
tease.
butter.
All right. With that all out of the way, it is time to move on to the actual play. Okay, I didn't mean for that to go that way, but it did. So before we get into it, let's go take a second to look at the cool character art provided to us by Kate May and listen to some cool music as we transport our minds to the world of Manifest.
No there, no there.
Okay, so Addie is currently buffering. She made an adjustment to her camera settings. There we go. Hey, she's back. All right, great. Gorgeous. All right. So
That's a wig reveal.
All right. So previously on Manifest, these 4 drifters found themselves in the mountains, accompanied by a potentially nefarious militia company that is helping them track down and defeat a strange monster, a monster they've crossed paths with a couple episodes ago. It is a humanoid figure that Eloise has been able to discern using her illuminated powers, is named Jack Taylor. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I didn't have the note up. I didn't have the note up at the moment
Aren't
that I
you
was
God?
saying it.
Like what?
I just want to make sure I got the last name right. The drifters are camped up. They're kind of stranded. The bridge that was connecting them back towards Waypoint got destroyed mysteriously, though Eloise is working on a way to fix that. And they went out on patrol with a few soldiers, only to be attacked by the creature yet again. And we ended last episode in the middle of initiative, as the team kind of converged on the location where the creature is. It attacked a little bit against Gus and Dex, and now is Dex's turn. Or mid initiatives. Let's get right to it. All right, Dex. To recap the situation, you are standing in front of the knocked prone soldier, Alf Ralston. Gus has leapt out of nowhere into action, landed down, and started fighting this thing. And Eloise slid into action as well, popping up her shield, and the two of them are kind of engaged with this thing at a relatively close range. It had just launched its I have a squeak.
Let me get the Foley on the laser.
It had just launched an energy attack at Gus, which Eloise stopped using her warding ability, canceling that insight-based attack. And Porter is within eyesight, rushing in as alongside Sergeant Castilla. Private Metzger, the other soldier on patrol, is way far away, having just seen Gus teleport to the top of rock formation and then leap off of it like a maniac. So these the three drifters are kind of all standing around, ready. Dex, you pull back the hammer on your guns. It is your turn. What do you do?
I'm gonna surprise everyone here. I shoot it.
Okay.
Wow.
Should have seen this coming.
Okay. Well, that turned into an okay roll. Like, a really mediocre roll. I have a 13.
I'll have a 12. Not much to do about it. So a 12 it is.
Okay. I will spend 2 grit to twist the knife. So that is 12 damage, no piercing.
All right. So as this thing pulls back away from Eloise and Gus, its face reforming after shooting that beam out, you pull back the hammer, stretch out your arm, fire a shot. It clips this thing's shoulder, cracking its armor, breaking it off, and it kind of breaks and wisps away as ash. And it turns its attention to you as you fire again.
That's a pretty good one.
I have a 13.
Okay, I will spend 2 grit to play to the gallery so I can count this 14.
Ooh. Okay.
If I wasn't so tired, you see, I could just counter normally. And that explodes now. Into nothing. So it's 6 damage, 2 no piercing.
Okay. Yeah, the second shot kind of lands in that same area, chipping off more, just like 2 precision shots, just hitting it and like clipping its shoulder as it turns.
And then, so rarely do you find horrific creatures of unimaginable power exactly where you want them. I am going to double down.
Okay. Puts you to 3 grit and me to 11.
It puts me to 1 grit. Because I twisted the knife on the first one and I played to the gallery on the second.
Yeah, you played to the gallery. I didn't. You're at 1.
Man, I'm using one of that like red and blue with like the little bit of like silver on the numbers die that I got at the end of like that big manifest playtest. It loves to shoot guns.
Welcome back to our Talking Dice with Dan and Roman.
I currently have an 11.
I have a 13.
Okay. I'll go ahead and spend grit to count this 14.
Okay. That was smart. I also had an 11.
So yeah, I have a 14.
Okay, yeah, there's nothing I can do about that.
Okay, so I go down to 9. You have 2.
Yeah, and I will take my last shot here.
Okay. I currently have a 9.
Whew. I have a 13. Oh, wait. Hold on. I don't know if it'll matter. Okay, yeah, I have a 13.
Okay. I don't really have a good grit expenditure. So, what you got?
You got a 9?
Yep.
It's 18 damage, no piercing.
Okay.
That's a good shot.
It loves to shoot guns.
Woo! All right, yeah. So, you clip its shoulder with the 2 shots on top of each other, and then as it turns, you've seen this thing move before, so you fire both guns like simultaneously, and as it moves out of the way of one shot, its leg goes into the like line of fire of the other shot, and while it's not able to like get away as you kind of like angle your shots at 2 different spots, and it gets clipped in the leg, and like the leg like breaks and shatters, and that light shines out from the bullet hole.
And I'm still in like relatively close quarters with this thing, right?
Relatively, yeah. This thing is maybe like at most like 8 feet away from me.
Okay, yeah. I want to make more distance between me and it.
Cool. Yeah. You pull back around Ralston and like kind of move in the direction that Porter and the other soldier are coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So that is Dex. Gus, you are up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something sort of different. I'm gonna think outside the box on this one. I'm gonna punch it. As I recall, I have +1 muscle attribute right now, don't I?
If that's the tonic that Porter gave you, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Oh man, there's a little thing on the bottom corner of my sheet that I wrote last time next to a tonic. It says "drink me," but my turn is done.
Oh, speaking of which, just real quick, I do pop a healing tonic.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so in that moment, as like Dex is like firing those shots, it turns his attention away from you, and you quickly like grab and down a tonic. You drop it to the ground and press your attack.
I'll drop it to the ground. With that fist, I come up into its face.
So currently I have a 10.
I have a 13.
Yeah. How much damage?
Oh, sorry. Can I make this into a grapple?
Yeah. That doesn't actually change your target or anything like that. So this can be a grapple if you.
Yeah. And I'll twist the knife. So I got 3 successes on it.
Okay. That puts it in a rating grapple.
Is that +3 for me to attack it now?
You have a +3 against it, and it has a -3 against you on everything, not just against you, but on.
Cool. Now I'm gonna punch it.
Okay.
A little bit of down home bamboozling for you.
You said you twisted the knife.
Yeah.
Adjust your grit, and I'll only adjust mine a little bit, because I am going to bamboozle you on this attack that you're doing. I will bamboozle you twice.
Cool.
Does give you back to 10.
Let's see. What do you got?
Currently have an 8.
Oh, honey. Oh, that's bad for you. Yeah, that's 4 successes.
What's your highest?
That's all I can count. My highest is a 14.
Okay, I will go it strong.
Okay.
Because I too have a 14. I can now count as I go it strong.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2 grit to play to the gallery. Making this 15 count.
Punch it.
Oh, I thought I rolled another 15, but it's a 19, I think. Yeah, that's a shame. All right, well that's 2 successes.
Ooh, how much damage?
That's gonna be 10 damage, 6 of it's piercing.
Ooh. Yeah, so you rush in and you grab this thing as like Dex has shot it. It's kind of like stopped for a second. You like barrel into it and like hit it with your shoulder and like grab it and kind of pull it in to like kind of a like shoulder grapple. And then you swing up and just like hit it right in the in like the abdomen, and like that like stony like ashen hide cracks and breaks around your fist.
If I may real quick, be the other chicken patty in this KFC double down, I'd like to take another turn.
Well, you have Fist of Fury, right? You have another attack.
Oh, do I? That's right, of course.
I hate to play for the other team. I don't think you do in this scenario.
Oh yeah, because grapple's a focus
grapple.
action. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Because you weren't punching the first, grabbing them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So your turn does end as you go to double down.
Yeah.
You lose. Six.
Is that it?
You lose 6 shine.
Ooh.
How much shine do you have left?
Exactly 0.
Exactly 0? Okay. You feel a burning sensation in your body, every part of your body that is touching this thing, that same kind of burning sensation you had for a moment when you had this thing, you feel it again. And you like feel like you have it, and there's this kind of like pull on your skin, the skin that is touching this thing, and it burns. And you see like up and down your arms where you're holding this thing, that red glow, that kind of like orangish reddish glow that usually like comes out of you when you're using an illuminated power, is being pulled forcibly through your skin and seeping into the body of this thing.
Oh no.
Oh well, hell no! I gotta punch that stuff back out of it and into me.
And I do see that I get a grit from Salty's time.
At 2, Salty's time.
At 2. I'm just trying to do a bunch
Thanks
of
for the
punches, y'all. Come on. All right. Now, may I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm stuck with a 7. Very grappled. Been attacked many times.
I can't do too much to you. I rolled pretty bad. I did roll. I got two successes, which is 10 damage, 6 piercing. Is this thing looking hurt?
It's hard because every time this thing gets hurt, its wounds, like that hide is what gets cracked and broken, which is constantly reforming. And like you see as it's like siphoning that energy from you, you do see like the wounds that Dex was dealing, like being like closed up and like that armor coming back.
Can I aim? I want to aim for a wound with this attack.
Sure. It's gonna be a -2 for you.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, I can count this 5.
I've got an 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much
you do
damage?
anything?
How much damage?
I
I
got
got
2 7s.
so
So it's 15
15. All right.
damage. With 6 piercing.
Okay.
And then now I get to do a Fist of Fury one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna aim for a wound again.
Okay. So you're at that -2 again. I have a success of 3.
Cool. All right. Well, I got a 14 and a 13 and an 11 and an 8. I'd like to count all them.
How much damage is that?
That's gonna be 20 damage. 6 of it piercing. Right in through the bullet hole. Or maybe one of mine. I don't know. There's just a hole over there, and I hit through.
Okay, cool. So that's all your attacks, yeah?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
all of them. I'm done.
So
Got 'em all.
you got it in this in like this kind of headlock. You grab it, you feel that burning sensation. You see the wound starting to pull over, and you like kind of twist your body around, pushing it down, and you hit it again, like right in its like shoulder where Dex had already shot it a bit. It cracks and breaks away. Punch in there again. You feel that hot sensation running up your knuckles as you punch, and then you pull back and like hit it right in the gut where you already hit it, and that like its whole torso like breaks and cracks and like shatters around the punch, and that light shoots out like into the clearing. Like order, you see this big flash of golden light as this thing gets like pummeled by Gus, just like right in its gut. And Gus, you take 6 hit points.
All right.
As that light that it's pulling from you goes away, and you see your skin beginning to turn ashen blacking.
Don't like that.
Doesn't seem good.
Yeah, you like shift your grip, and like it's like for a second you think you're stuck to it, and you realize it's the abrasiveness of what like your skin of your forearm that is starting to become cracked and broken. And as you pull it away, it like breaks and rips and like flakes off just like this thing's skin does.
Oh, someone kill it, please! Someone kill it.
I do have to ask you, Gus, do you continue holding on to it, or do you release it from its grapple?
I'll release. I gave it enough minuses with the attacks.
So yeah,
I can't do that again.
So you pull back and like you look and you see like it doesn't like immediately heal or anything. Like your arms are like almost scarified, it looks like, with this kind of black like crack like skin that like is your skin.
Oof.
Okay. Next up. Porter. You see all of that. As you arrive to the scene, skidding to a stop.
Good. I don't need one more success to get there.
I mean, it depends on what you want to do, but
Sure.
before having to roll anything to get any further, you're able to get about, maybe 5 to 10 paces behind Dex.
I'd like to shoot something. I mean, if the thing's gonna explode, I'd like to be part of it. I was hoping it wouldn't be killed already. I'm gonna shoot it with some injection ammo.
Okay.
So, let's see how this goes.
As many negatives.
Good. So I
Yes.
shouldn't bamboozle it then.
I mean, you can if you want. It has been attacked for grapple counts as 1 and that, and or it's been attacked 9 times. So it's
And hit
operating
many of them.
It's operating at a -8 before any wound penalties it may or may not have.
Move that over there, and I'll go for it then. Oh, all right.
Porter, you're up against a 3.
I rolled a 3. That's perfect. But I also rolled an 11, so that should hit him pretty well then.
All right. So how many net successes is that?
That's 2 net successes.
2
then.
net successes. Okay. So what is the tonic that was loaded into your projectile app?
The tonic I loaded in is a blindness tonic.
Okay. So basically the way this works now, it's if I recall, when you made this blindness tonic, it was is it high quality or is it standard
It's
quality?
high.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
It's high quality.
So that means it is at some negatives already to resist, and then because you hit it with 2 net successes, that means it's at an additional -1 to.
Excellent.
So it has to roll a negate test, and we'll see if affected by. Yeah, it's at a -6 to a negate test.
Pretty good.
And are there any other properties, or is it just the one?
It's just a tier 2 blindness tonic.
So it's at a -6, and it also has wound. Actually, I have a reliability. I do not resist. I had to roll a 2 or lower.
That would have been impressive.
I got close, but I don't have enough grit to, I think. So, okay. So, that's gonna be it loses its sense of sight. As basically, what does it look like when you it's like a canister you load into your gun, right?
Yeah, a canister, and it kind of like explodes against the creature. And I think the blindness tonic is like a glittering blue tonic that just like splatters across his face.
Cool. Yeah, so just this comes out from behind Dex and flying forward. This canister, as it hits this thing in the shoulder, twists and breaks, and like this this like spray goes up and like coats into this thing and like kind of lingers on its skin, and it pulls back and like it kind of swirls around, and you see like that like light flickering around the eyes, like it's having trouble like seeing through the tonic's effects.
And I'd like to get to a better position, maybe something just to have a better viewpoint and get a little bit closer to it.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and have you roll. Yeah, either athletics or
I'll take endure. That's perfect.
Cardio, man.
That's 2 successes.
Cool, yeah. You're able to get like, you wanted to get just a little bit closer and kind of like get this thing surrounded, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you're able to kind of get your Dex has moved back into the right. You're able to move like forward into the left, and like Ralston is laying down about 3 feet. Which, hey, it's his turn.
He better shoot it. He better be able to shoot it.
He gets up.
Oh god.
He gets up, dazed, bleeding from the back of the head. You can see Porter. He's dazed, and he like pulls out his gun like sloppily and like fires a couple shots of this thing and clips its leg as it is like blinded and healing from attacks. He like peppers the ground around its leg and like hits it in like the shin with his shots.
I think as I'm running by, I kind of pat him on the shoulder and I'm like, "What? Just sit back down there, lad. I think that's best."
You like pat him on the shoulder and he like almost falls over.
Hey, no, don't sit down.
And then Staff Sergeant Aiden Castilla slides in between where Dex and Porter is, whipping out this big like heavy machine gun on like kind of an actuating arm that's attached to like a harness on their back, and like pulls it around and like the barrel starts spinning as just starts tearing through, lights this thing up as it has been like completely like made a sitting duck for them. Just absolutely. What is real quick? Sure, I am.
This hits the deck. I think he is behind this thing.
You're nearby for sure. The shot isn't coming where you're behind. The shot is kind of coming like perpendicular to you.
Okay, good. I was concerned.
But like you still probably are concerned by what is happening right now. All right, that is the most damage that they can deal. Okay. Absolutely lights this thing up. Yeah, Gus, like, Porter hits it with this spray, so you like pull back as the like wisps like kind of like linger. They don't like get dangerously close to you, but like they linger around, so you don't want to like accidentally bring them in. So you like pull back and kind of catch your breath for like a second, and then you're deafened by the like by the roar of Castilla's gun as it just like makes a cone of fire, just like dirt and ash and light, and like the mist gets cleared by just the force of the bullets flying through it as this thing just becomes like peppered, and like you can't see it. It's obscured for a second. You can kind of see the glowing light, but like the like stone and dirt is just ripped up off of the ground and from the like surrounding formations to like make it so this battlefield is like now a war zone. And that is the soldier's turn. And Eloise, it is now your turn.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Just stab it with your big knife that you got.
I literally have no offensive weapons whatsoever. I can't.
It's like, here, Elle, take my cattle prod.
No, I will, so there's a big hill, right? Are there some, like, rocks nearby? Like, maybe a big rock? That might be, like, up, that, like, maybe gravity can help me with?
I mean, yeah, there are plenty of yeah. For like instance, you were kind of in a lower spot with a bunch of rocky formation. Like Dex and Ralston came down here to potentially kill each other, and they broke line of sight with you.
Hey.
I remember.
So like there are rock formations around. Whether or not they've been loosened by Castilla's gunfire, uncertain. There's definitely a lot of rocks with a lot of bullets in them for sure.
Oh, a bullet rock.
Okay. If there is a rock that is like sort of big that I can pull on like telekinetically, I would like.
You wanna like land a rock on this thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna the amount of damage you're gonna want to deal and the size of the rock will determine how much shine you want to use. You have the pick of the litter when it comes to rock sizes in the mountains. So how much shine do you want to expend to grab thing?
Sure, I will. Will expend, I guess, 6, like a person-sized rock.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I am overcasting by 2 with this.
Okay, so you lose 2 hit points
Right. Okay.
as you overextend.
Yeah, so I will pick a rock that is conveniently above where we are,
Mhm.
and attempt to fling it at the guy. I guess it's gonna end up like a Wicked Witch.
Let's see. I was thinking Lord of the Flies, like when they kill Piggy.
Sure.
Why?
Horrifying.
I don't know why anyone would ever think of that, but I support you in your thought process.
I think about it all the time because I remember watching the movie and they drop like this like styrofoam rock on this fat kid's head, and it's just hilarious to me.
Guys, let's get back to Eloise. She has the conch.
Thank you.
What'd you get?
I would have to roll to tell you.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
It's an unopposed test. You're just using telekinesis right now.
Mm-hmm. So I haven't. So that's 2 successes. But I rolled 3 dice and I got a 20. So I will. So I'm gonna spend grit to not misfire.
So yeah, so since you succeeded, it is a regular misfire, and you are going to spend how much grit is it? Is it 2 or 3?
3.
I believe it is 3.
And 3 grit to
Scrape by.
Scrape by.
That's your free.
My curse, it's been broken.
So that there's no misfire. You have 2 successes, which means you can use like both of these to do a focused action. Use both of those uses to use a focused action, like rip this thing out and throw it down. Since you got 2, I won't make you roll for it because basically the worst thing that could happen to you is having to spend 2 actions, like 1 picking it up, plucking it.
Okay.
But since you got the 2 successes, you can just do that.
I do.
Cool. So you're not so much throwing it as you are just like making it unstable, right? It's like
Yeah, I was trying to like loosen it over top of him.
Yeah.
You're trying to aim it.
But like basically you're doing the equivalent of like being on the other side of it and just like shoving it over as as opposed to like hucking a boulder at something. So yeah, gravity is going to do the job for you. The dust is kicking up, ripping around. Bullets are flying through the air. The barrels of Castilla's guns are like gun is getting like red hot. And as this happens, like Eloise like raises her hand up, her eyes glowing. And he watches like it kind of burns into her skin again as she forces herself to be able to unloosen this boulder from above this thing and have it roll down off the side of that cliff and like land in the middle, and dust shoots out. Gus, you have to cover your eyes as dust and soot and rock in the air gets shoved at you at the wind of it as this boulder lands down, obscuring the beast from view.
Jeez.
And then I would like to run away.
old Roadrunner Reynolds over here. Drop a big rock on him and then bolt.
I mean, I don't think I could get very far, but I was like right up on him last time, so I could get in between him and Gus. So I would like to not be that close.
Too close.
Certainly.
Okay. So Eloise does that, pulls back. Castilla stops shooting as the rock slams down and like completely obscures the creature from sight. Gus, you pull back. The dust that has been kicked up by Castilla's gun gets like launched out, clearing the air a little bit. Dex, you stand like resolute, like your gunslinger training allowing you to like literally get dust in your eyes and like still keep your eyes open and focused against the discomfort. And Porter, you fucking you get your hand up, you pull your hat down, you're like, Ralston falls on his ass. and Castilla like takes a couple steps back, and like Eloise scrambles up to a better position so that she's not so much like trapped in this kind of little like lower area. And for a moment, there's silence as the only sound is. Oh man, the noise gate. I have to do a little louder. The only sound is as the barrels of Castilla's gun start rolling to a stop, smoking red, and there's silence for a moment, and then the rock cracks and that yellow light like starts shining through it, and all of you realize what's going on. Castilla's gun starts spinning back up. Dex, you pull back the hammers on your guns, and Eloise, you like wide-eyed are like shocked and not knowing exactly what you're gonna do if that didn't work. And the rock breaks open as this thing blindly shoots outward through the rock in desperation. That's gonna be at Dex.
Yeah, of course it is. Randomly selected for the tastiest arms.
I rolled a 3 and you're the lower, you're the top of the clock.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, Dex. I mean, I have a success. Obviously, it's not a great one. I mean, he's not rolling at the most like negatives because it's his turn now. But he has plenty. I need to know what your highest is to know whether or not.
I have a 10.
Okay. I will spend grit then. I will spend 3 grit to go it strong. So that I can count. It's 15 explode.
That seems bad. I've been on the receiving end of one laser in the entirety of playtesting Manifest. That one I got in the way of on purpose, and it was still pretty bad.
Okay. So my highest is a 14.
I continue to have a 10.
Yeah, 14. I said 15 earlier. It was a 14 that exploded.
The fact that I can't spend the grit you just gave to me means that doesn't matter.
Okay, you have a 10?
Yeah. Sounds like I'm rolling on the injury table.
Like it's arms o'clock.
God.
So that is going to be 24 damage.
Tommy, your hunger is terrifying. I haven't rolled yet. I will choose to take an injury.
Will you now?
Hold on. Maybe not.
Really?
Well, so I'm debating whether any of these injuries are equal to or worse than just being out of the fight, because I could spend grit to just be down. Yeah, no, you know what? You went to the effort of getting Dex on the emotes. I'll force this on you. I'll take an injury.
Oh, man.
Oh no!
Please, no! It's a class 4 injury.
It's fine. I'm just a sitting duck.
Hey!
So sitting duck is remind me exactly which one that is.
All incoming attacks deal extra damage. You basically count an additional hit
That's
on
not
all attacks against me, but it's not limited by accuracy, I believe.
Yeah. It just has an additional whatever its power is. It does that much more damage.
You deal X plus 1 its damage.
Okay.
It could have been an arm. There's a 25% chance it was an arm.
I really feel like Dex is like sitting there rubbing his arm and not really knowing why.
No. So what happens is Dex, you stand, and as this like starts to crack and break, you pull back your hammers, and then it shatters through, and you realize like this is coming at you. Like this shot, the trajectory of it is coming at you.
Yeah, I imagine there's also like shrapnel from the rock coming my way too.
And so you leap and dive away from it, trying to get like ahead of it and below it, but you're not quite quick enough, and you get caught up in the concussive like force of this thing. And it launches you forward, and you fly like 8 feet, tumbling and like slamming to the ground, like all sorts of scratched up and beat up. You roll to the ground. Your already torn cloak rips off like hanging on a rock as you slam down to the ground, and you realize your guns are like 5 feet away from you, scattered onto the ground. And then it goes again. Without doubling down, it's going to launch. That laser's going to continue arcing through the sky. Going to target Eloise.
Okay.
This die right here, guys, I just want to say, this is the one that shot so good and also rolled that injury.
That die.
This one a ride or die.
Is this wardable, or do I? Or
you
or
can
do
use
I need-
warding against this energy attack.
Okay.
Oh, crap. Tommy, this is so important. Oh, no, you wanted strong. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you should have been at an additional -1 on that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I did go strong.
Yeah. I forgot you didn't play to the gallery. You wanted strong.
Yeah. Look, it's hurt. and it has a lot of negatives.
I'm gonna spend a grit to make my own luck. I'm gonna spend a grit to make my own luck.
Oh no.
Do you have no
It's
successes?
yours the army hungers for.
What?
You have no successes right now?
I currently have rolled many high teens.
Okay, I just want to, because you're doing it before you know what my highest is. So I just want to make sure.
No, I mean, I don't have any. So.
Okay, cool. I do have a 7.
Okay. I have a 4,
Okay.
which is not, I guess, a success. It might take away some of yours.
It didn't, but
It
I
could've.
did only get 2 successes over it, so that is 16 damage.
You're well out of arm range.
Yeah. Not I can't twist the knife enough to make it arm damage. I could.
Do you?
No. But I want you to know I could.
That'd be the thirstiest shit I'd ever seen in my life.
Give me your arms. Yeah, so 16 damage.
Okay. How many days has it been since we fought this guy? Before? Was it 2 or 3?
It's been like 1.5.
Yeah.
1.5. Great. Cool. Okay. I will. I will take an injury.
Okay.
This is my second injury.
This
My
one's
first one has
class.
not yet-
This is class 2.
Class 3.
B. Okay.
Is this not affected by toughness?
This one does not ignore toughness.
Oh, it doesn't ignore touch.
No.
Okay.
Oh, also, technically, actually, it's different for you, Eloise. Oh no, because you have no shine left. So it's just damage. It's just damage.
Okay.
If you had shine, it would split between your shine and damage. But
Right.
instead,
No, I don't have any more. Yeah. Okay. So. I broke my leg, I guess.
Wait,
I have
you have heavy armor, right?
No, I have medium armor.
All right. I guess I just assumed it was so powerful that it must
It
be
is so
heavy.
powerful, but it's not that. It doesn't. Yeah. So,
Wait. It doesn't make it a class 2? So it's
No.
16 damage, right?
It's not because the
dang.
thing is that it's power armor and it is on the fritz currently.
Oh. It's a shame.
Yeah, it is certainly a fractured bone. Tommy, I'll let you pick. Whatever narratively comes to mind, it is fine.
This is you temporarily. Wait, no. So it's class 3. So fractured bone is just a stat modifier.
Yeah, but like which
Yeah.
one?
So that's what -1 to muscle and finesse, right?
Yes.
Attribute. Okay.
Yeah.
So your muscle and finesse attribute temporarily drop by 1. As this thing arcs, you see it hit Dex, and you're like focusing on that. You don't realize until too late that it is still going. Usually it's been like kind of a short burst of this thing, but this is like continuous. And it arcs through the sky, swinging over Porter and Gus's head. And you realize it's like swinging your way, and you like try to reach out and like thwart it again using your illuminated powers, but you're like so spent that you're not able to like get the energy. Like your eyes flicker gold a little bit, but you're not able to pull up like enough energy to be able to stop it. And so then you raise your shield, and your arm, you feel this sharp pain in your elbow that shoots up and like gets into like the back of your neck, and then like it lingers on your elbow, and as the blast hits your shield, shoving you back and like knocking you back like 5 feet. and you drop down, and like it hurts to lift your whatever arm holds your shield.
It's my right, because I'm left-handed.
And now I will double. Each of you gets a grit.
Yay! So I'm only at 5, so I'm back at 6.
Thank you for the update. I missed one of you. Sure, that puts you at 8 by my count. And Gus, that puts you back to Gus. You're back at 10.
10.
Is that not right? Yeah. What do you have for you?
I'm at 3.
I don't know how I didn't edit yours at all. You used grit a lot, right? And like I remember you using grit, and I looked and I was like, he's at 9? Wow.
I mean, if that's what yours says, I mean that's
no. Look, there's a lot I'm managing here. I need you guys to tell me when I have your grit wrong.
It's 3.
Cool, thank you. Now the arcing blast continues. And it's going to go for Porter now.
That's not good.
This is the hungriest I've ever seen Tommy for a limb.
Okay.
And he once shot me 7 times in a row to get one of mine.
He's hungry. He said, "You know what I want for dinner? Chicken Parmesan."
No, what? Stream canceled. I'm leaving. Absolutely.
I have an 8, Porter.
Well, I should have been paying attention. So first of all, I'd like to thank Waypoint Game Designs for providing me for this wonderful dice tower and dice tray. It's been excellent. I really thought my curse was broken, but that is a grave misfire. I rolled a 1 and a 20 in the same roll. So just take whatever limb you want. I don't care. It's fine. It's yours.
And not.
So bad.
So I am gonna scrape by. So it's just a regular
Okay, all right.
misfire.
You know that's both arms, right? In a grave misfire scenario.
Not in a grave misfire.
Right
No,
off.
I wouldn't do that.
Come back here, you yellow bastard! I'll bite your legs off.
Because you made it just a regular misfire. What I will do is I will make it basically going to give myself an additional like success over you, which is going to make it so that it is 24 damage. Okay,
so fine.
So you can either take the damage or you can roll an injury.
No, I'm rolling an injury. We'll see how it goes though.
Okay, but you're the doctor is the thing.
There are other doctors.
Not here.
Not good ones.
Not here. Okay, so just 1 die, correct?
Yes.
And I see where it lands. Okay. I am doomed.
You lose all 8 of your grit, Porter.
Great. Excellent.
And should you gain any grit, cannot use it to stop yourself from dying.
Good. That's fine.
That grit don't come back. That's 8 grit down the drain.
Yep.
Our grit
I did scrape by, so technically I only wasted 5 grit. But
oh, sure. You know, that's fair. You lost 5
mechanically doesn't
grit.
make a difference, but
okay. And then it arcs over towards Gus.
This might be it.
This might be what?
Gus,
The arm.
Gus, I only have a 9.
God dang. Wish I'd rolled this on a dang punch. Yeah, I got a 11.
Okay, yeah. Having seen the devastation of this beam as it's crossed over all of your friends, as it passes over Porter, and you watch as Porter gets blasted back as well, similar to Dex, but Porter seems to hit the ground like harder, completely knocking the wind out of him. He like doesn't get up as quickly as Dex seems to be getting up. Like Porter's like gasping for air for a moment, and the beam continues over, and you just hit the dirt as fast and hard as you can. You slide down, and the rock that you slide behind gets like vaporized as you like slide down and like kick yourself back up. And Gus, you were the only one to see, as the others are all kind of like knocked back and incapacitated, as this thing's like light starts flickering up into the sky. That beam fades away, and the light goes away, and Castilla moves forward, and you see Metzger moving forward as well. And there's you watch as the like stony ashen like body of this thing starts breaking apart as the light fades from it, and as it does, it breaks apart slowly, and the thing starts stumbling and like grabs its head that then like disappears, and it like shrinks in size as it's like stumbling and reaching out. And like the soldiers are moving up, getting ready to fight. Dex is like moving towards his pistols. Porter is gasping for air. Eloise is pulling herself off of the ground, like cradling her wounded arm. And you see, for a moment, Gus, you see the form of a man, human man, revealed as this thing's body breaks away. Within it, within the body of this thing was a person. Thin, scrawny, seemingly somewhat malnourished, though potentially athletically built before then, because there's still sinewy muscle there. He is covered in tattoos. His hair is greasy and long and dark, but thinned and patchy in some spots. You don't see his full face, but from a profile, you see a gaunt, like almost skeletal face. With bloodshot eyes, and he falls down on all fours, Gus. And as your team like kind of gets up, and the soldiers like don't know exactly what to do, he throws his body up one last time, and a giant blast of light shoots out. And I'm going to give each of you 2 grit as we're all rendered unconscious momentarily. That's where we're going to take our break.
Wow.
We will be back. I got 9:25 on the clock. Porter, you did get 1 grit from Lot Nachos in the chat.
Thank you.
With a little heart for all of your suffering.
Still got my arm though.
Still got your arm though, and now you're up to 3 grit. And we're gonna take a quick break. I got 9:25 on the clock. We're gonna take about a 10-minute break, so we'll see you all around like 9:35, and we'll see what state our drifters wake up in after the intermission. Back. Hello, welcome back. So any of you who are joining us just now, these four drifters fought a nightmare creature that turned out to be a person. Who could have guessed that? They defeated the nightmare creature to find the withered form of the man inside, a man named Jack Taylor. Only to immediately be knocked unconscious as one final burst of illuminated energy escaped Jack's body. And they all blacked out. Let's see. Wakes up. Porter, you wake up first.
Yes.
I had to remember how math worked for a second to realize who the 13 was.
I understand.
Hard sometimes. Math is hard.
That's the unlucky one.
Yeah. So, Porter, you got knocked down.
Right.
Wind was knocked out of you. You were gasping for air. The world was spinning. It was dark. You couldn't see much. And you see a flash of light. And the next thing you know, your body is weak. Laying down on a bed, maybe. It's very firm. And you, given your particular background and training, you can hear medical equipment like kind of whirring and clicking and like you open your eyes and they're like tired, and you look around and you realize you are in the medical tent that Thomas McKay was moved to after you treated him. You are back in the camp. And kind of are able to lift your head and look around, and you see Dex, Eloise, and Gus also here, as well as Sergeant Castilla, Private Metzger, and Private Ralston. All of you seemed to be completely knocked out and transported here.
Is anybody nearby?
Yeah, no, there's people nearby. You recognize, because sort of kind of worked with them, spoke to them. Who? Specialist Victor Stalinsky is there, seeming to monitor the equipment. He notices that you are awake, and like rushes over and goes, "He's a now, Frayne. Sit back.
Where are we? Are we back?
Back at camp.
What happened to the thing?
That's not my concern right now. My concern is checking and making sure the rest of you are got questions. I believe you can direct them to Captain Schaefer.
Is everybody okay?
As far as I can tell, yeah. I mean, Ralston took a hell of a fall. He hasn't come to yet, but the rest of you have been stirring. And then, as he says that, Dex, you wake up.
I think as soon as I regain consciousness, I remember my guns not being in my possession when I lost consciousness, and I check for them.
So yeah, you like as you're waking up, your hands drop to your hips, and you are just in your clothes. Your like belt, your gun belt has been removed. And as you kind of like open your eyes and sit up, there is a little area nearby you where you can clearly see your gun belt and gun.
Okay. What happened?
Oh, all right. I guess this is happening. And he like clicks a little button, and like a few seconds later, specialist Catherine Barton comes in, and she like comes to you, Dex, as you're like sitting up, asking what happened. She goes, "Easy now, easy. All right, y'all got hit by something and knocked out everyone who was out there, but y'all made it back okay and alive, and that's good. All right, now you just need to take it easy for a minute. You're gonna regain consciousness. We've pumped a lot of fluids in you."
But what happened?
Oh, and I suppose you would be the one to answer that. And a patrol went out after the flare and found all of y'all, brought you back. You and that dead fella.
What?
Eloise, you wake up.
You're blurry in real life.
So fuzzy. I'm so blurry. Eloise, you wake up.
Sure.
You hear this conversation before you open your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, aching pain. You try to push yourself up, and then that sharp pain in your elbow spikes heavily. I will say that all of you can mark off one rest when it comes to recovering all of your injuries have been treated with one success.
If anybody has HP to heal as well, you get 2 bonus because you're convalescing with me.
So it's not a rest. You're not taking a rest.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
You basically they rolled dice to treat your injuries, which just shortens the recovery time. Great. So if you had a tier 1 injury, it would be done, I think, or it would be almost done. Forgotten how my own game works.
Do they have the physician feat?
Yes.
Cool. Then it is just 1.
Yeah. So if you have a tier 1, it's just done. Otherwise, I guess that's actually a very good point, Addie. It's you can mark off 2 successes on your for all of your injuries.
For all of them?
Yeah, each of your injuries was treated with 2 successes.
Great. I don't think Eloise says anything. I don't data collect.
What dead fellow? What are you talking about?
That fellow that apparently it wasn't no creature at all. It was some illuminated freak running around. I mean, I ain't ever seen or heard anything like it, but it was a person. That wasn't a monster or an animal. That was a person driven mad. What I can tell. Animal in every sense of the way, except for the fact that once they was dead, it revealed, I mean, they brought back the body of a person. He looked like hell.
What we saw, that's not what a person could do. No, that's
Gus, you wake up.
That's when beyond
also,
normal.
if any of you have tonics that you took, they've worn off at this point and you're suffering the side effects. So if you have tonics with side effects, those side effects are
excellent. Then Gus wakes up. Y'all hear from Gus's bed. Oh goodness! Oh, what was that?
Oh man! Oh man!
Where
Gus,
are we?
Gus, it hurts to laugh. You have this.
Ow!
You have the side effect. The side effect, uncontrollable laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it hurts so much to laugh. Like it hurts a little bit like in your body, but it hurts a lot in your head. Like it's like laughing with a migraine. Like it's like like pulsing. Like every laugh is like painful.
Sorry.
Where are we?
We're back at camp.
What is this?
I know. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
This is yours.
Yeah.
Stilinski goes, "Oh, I understand. I understand.
Ow.
Sir, and he comes over
Yeah.
and says, take this," and he gives you a pill. And then as you take the pill, he also jabs a needle in your neck and like a syringe goes, and you only laugh for like 30 more seconds, and then the side effect goes away.
Ow. 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 Dang.
You all right?
Yeah, thanks for that. That's all right.
Yeah, you feel like a very numbing feeling throughout your body.
All right, I'm good. Sorry about that, y'all. Where are we? We're back.
And Barton keeps talking, going, like I was saying, a lot of you got brought back with some dead fella. Now, I mean, we're under strict orders to make sure you're right as rain. Captain Schaefer will be by to talk to you later this afternoon. We just got to send word to him that you're awake. And then she looks at Stilinski, and Stilinski like nods and goes, "I'll see to it." Walks out.
I want to get a read on Bart because of this very handy sheet of remaining soldiers' names you've given us. She, if I'm reading it correctly, is marked as knows what's going on.
That is correct.
Can I?
Yeah, so
can I
I would
assist?
like to try.
Can I assist? Kind of like keep her talking.
Yes. You kind of realize, like, you don't know Dex very well, but you know a couple things about him. One is that he's pretty good at reading people, and also, like, I mean, you know that because he read you.
Right.
And so you kind of have this moment where you realize, like, now's an opportunity. Dex has already told you about Barton and about the other soldiers, and you kind of realize that you have this opportunity. And so when you see Dex kind of square up to like maybe ask her a question, you have a good enough like sense of like reading Dex, realize he's about to like start talking to her, and you chime in. You're like, "Oh, I can do this," and you drop right into like kind of your old ways, just being like, "Oh, I got this. I have a partner who's like a really smooth operator, and I am pretty good with people in general. So all I got to do is talk, and then they can tell me what's going on." It's a little bit. It's kind of endearing because it's a little bit like without even really like discussing it or thinking about it. It's a little bit like the last time you were with Rund back in Markham's Landing. The couple of times that you and Rund like did stuff like during that journey that you had together, like there were a couple times where like, you know, sheriffs or marshals were like sniffing around and you kind of fell into that rhythm. You have that same exact moment with Dex where you realize like that's a thing. So you start talking.
Good.
And go ahead and roll. Refresh my camera here. Some lag, it seems like.
I'm assuming she's trying to manipulate.
Oh yeah, since you have playing the player, yeah, it's gonna be manipulate.
Good. I have talked to Barton before. I don't think this is a first impression. Is that right?
That's correct. It's pretty hard for you to have a first impression with any soldiers.
From anybody in the camp, that makes sense. Perfect.
Smooth, sharp.
All right. Okay. I've got a high of 10.
Okay, I have a high of 9, and I can't do anything about it.
So I also rolled a 9, which is +2 for Dex then.
Oh.
Great.
And I think I'm just trying to kind of put Barton at ease so that Dex is very straightforward demeanor doesn't come off as challenging, I suppose.
Sure.
And I'm just gonna ask. So sorry, Barton. I know I don't want to be in your way here, but have we worked out the where's the body going? What can you tell me about this person?
Dex, she rolled an 11.
I have 2 11s.
Hey.
Okay. So yeah, she goes, it's not my place to talk about it. You got to talk to Captain Schaefer. But body's being held somewhere else. Obviously, it's being considered a threat at the moment. We understand that when it was incapacitated, it did something that knocked all of you out. So we don't know what it's capable of, and we are going to run some tests once we get it back to Brimstone. We've already the engineers are hard at work. Miss Reynolds, as soon as you're able to walk, I'm under orders to suggest that you make your way over to your project to see to its end. The captain is interested in packing up camp. We already got most of the fortifications down. We plan on moving out, getting back to Waypoint, and getting this body back to Brimstone as soon as possible. Anything else, you're gonna have to ask the captain. I don't have the answers for you.
I wouldn't ask you to go above your station. I just hope that everybody can stay safe. It's quite a creature.
Dex, you're just trying to get like a feel for this woman. Get the impression, obviously she knows a little bit more than she's letting on. You do like everything she said about like going to Brimstone is accurate and correct and honest. That seems to be the plan. They're gonna bring this body back. The thing that is besides the fact that like she knows more than she's letting on, just in general about like everything that's going on, you know that she's a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit laying the groundwork for the 4 of you to be requested to like accompany the militia back to Brimstone.
Okay.
Do you have like a sling or something that I can maybe put my arm in?
Absolutely. Go on, sit up. And she like presses a couple buttons on your on like the bottom of like your like bed / gurney, and it like bends and forms to your back as you sit up, and then she locks it in place, and then as she sees your arm, it's like while she continues talking to Porter and or Dex or Gus, she is like getting your sling.
Okay. Can I start taking off my armor?
Your armor has been removed.
Okay, great. Perfect. I don't put it on.
It's right over there. All of your guys' gear is kind of just like right over there. It's hidden from you. It's right out in the open. Dex, I'll go ahead and give you with your roll. Like they did that to keep you out on ease. Like you can immediately imagine the situation in which they're like, oh, should we like take their gear and put it somewhere else? They're like, no, put it within line of sight. Otherwise these drifters are going to get antsy. So you can easily Dex get that like as a like they did that so that you guys would feel more comfortable.
Sure.
So as soon as she's done with my arm, I will I'm gonna walk over, pick up just one of my the gauntlet that I have with the shield on it, which is like the not full hand one.
Yeah.
And I'll pick it up and I'll bring it over to Porter, and I'll just like put it right on his arm. Be like, just in case.
Yeah.
And
Porter,
then-
you know that part of Eloise's art, like her hand, you can kind of see it a little bit on the screen there. Like her hand, her right hand is like gauntleted with those kind of like spiny on the fingers. Eloise like walks over with that and like holds it out, and as you kind of instinctually raise your hand, that seems like that's what she wants. It does like Iron Man, like Infinity Gauntlet style, like go like and like open itself up so that it can form around your hand, and then
I'll take care of it. I promise.
It's just that button is the shield right there, and
Oh.
we talked about that already. So
I definitely deploy it immediately. Like,
What does it look like when it deploys again, Eloise?
sure, it's mostly an energy shield, but then it's got like that the hover tech bands around it to make it like the round.
So it's got like
Captain
a
America
metal
shape.
ring that kind of extends out, and then the body.
Yeah, and it has emitters that like
Yeah.
Connect it.
I promise I'll be careful, but I can't promise that I'm not going to just try and look cool.
Yeah, you move your arm around, it's like,
sometimes.
whoa, whoa.
And I will then sort of like I'll be, and then I'll head over to the project.
Cool. You already rolled a complete success on this. You just literally need to spend time on it. They've made some pretty good progress. You think you just need to spend about 3 to 4 more hours directing and helping. Like, they can't do everything just by like verbal command. Like, you have to get in there and do some stuff.
Okay.
But the first thing you do is they have like pretty much all the pieces laid out for you to make the ballista that you need to deploy the cable. And it's kind of a really ingenious design because it's not just a ballista. It like looks a little bit like a ballista, more like a cannon almost. Like thin, square shaped, and you aim it and you launch it, and it shoots out this massive pole that when it hits the ground, like drills into it and like is designed to like drill and make itself completely stationary. And it's like 6 feet into the ground. And then there's the cable, but the point, like as soon as it gets there, it retracts the cable and pulls what is the body of what was the ballista straight up, which makes a fortified like position on this side as well. Completely contracting and breaking down the aspects of that ballista to make a full-on pillar. And then you have 2 pillars on either side of this ravine with a large, heavily threaded steel cable. And it's just about getting the box and the motor set up.
Yep.
So you start directing them on what to do there.
Yep.
Start fabricating the parts so they can put it together for you.
Absolutely. That's all I do.
All right, so that's Eloise for a little while.
The place where our tents were is in view of Eloise's grand bridge project, right?
Yes.
Okay. Given that Gus and Porter look more or less okay in here, I'm going to grab my gun belt. I'm going to go back to our camp. And I'm going to do not the nightly ritual, clean and check all of the guns. I'm going to do we're in the field and something may have happened to your guns, get on it version.
Yeah, so you get up and Barton goes, "Sir, you really should rest for a little while longer."
Going over there to sit down.
I mean, you can leave on your own reconnaissance, but if you feel anything, any side effects, you feel lightheaded, you shout out. I'm Specialist Barton. You can shout out for Specialist Stalinsky. Someone will come get one of us. We don't know exactly all the side effects of what you may have been exposed to, so if anything unusual happens, you need to let us know.
I hear you.
You grab your gun belt on, and you do realize they did recover your torn and tattered cloak. It's laying there amongst supplies.
Well, that is nice of them. It's hard to get these made. And it's embarrassing to come back with a broken one.
So you stop for a second to look at it and you like pull it up and you're like, I can fix it. And you like walk off. Yeah, inspecting your guns back by your guys' tents. There's a lot of like, you get a lot of like long looks from people who seem a little like, ooh, what are the drifters going to do? And you sit down and you check your guns. They seem to be all in order. They haven't lost any quality. And as far as you can tell, they are not sabotaged in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. Yeah, and then once I'm satisfied with that, I will do the like long, involved version of it, and just keep an eye on Eloise from our camp.
Sure. So you start cleaning your guns. Porter and Gus, you're still in the medical tent with Barton. I mean, the two of you are free to leave if you need. I do suggest you rest up.
I don't mind resting for just a little bit longer.
Right.
Rather be here if I pass out than anywhere else.
And I'll stay here in case he passes out.
I appreciate that.
Well, I'm gonna
also
go
my
ahead.
arms.
They're actually completely bandaged up right now. They've completely wrapped them up in like a thick bandage. And she goes, "We did notice that. Looked like you got a really bad burn there, sir."
Yeah, well, when you sort of grab onto it, and when you put your fist sort of inside the big light, it don't like it.
How did it feel? It's strange. It doesn't quite look like a burn. What happened to you?
I mean, I don't know, because it's not fire, but it's light. It's light. I don't know. I grabbed it and it burned me.
Right. I mean, that fella, whatever powers he had, it was obviously unstable. And well, we're glad to see that you lot made it out as well as you did. I mean, who knows what that person was capable of. Really, really unsettling.
Very strange. And you've never seen anything like this before?
Never before, sir.
Is she telling the truth?
Go ahead and roll manipulate.
Make sure I got this right. Okay.
You're up against a 9.
That's all right. Okay. I've got one success over that.
Okay. So I mean, based on Dex's read, because Barton knows more than she's letting on. Specifically, you think she knows a little bit more than what she's saying she knows about Jack. But you also sort of get the sense that, like, she might not know all of the stuff.
Okay. And she... okay. Yeah, it's so strange. Like, I've seen some people with illuminated powers that look similar to what that thing could do, but it could like open up its face. What was the report that brought you out here? Did somebody see it, or was somebody attacked?
Well, sir, the 108th Maneuver Enhancement Brigade and all of Brimstone Garrison, we specialize in a little bit of the unknown. And well, we had some disturbing reports of something that didn't make much sense, so we came looking for it.
Are you saying you're a team of monster hunters?
Suppose you could say that. Illuminated threats is the language we use. That like sparks in the back of your mind as exactly the language of the pamphlet that you read.
Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
You get many of those?
More and more every day.
And what constitutes a threat? Or are illuminated and threat not mutually exclusive in this
Well,
description?
think about it this way, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who has a sense of survival has a healthy fear of the unknown. There ain't nothing we know less about than illuminated folk, what they can and can't do. I mean, look at what you just saw out there.
Well, I've seen and known a lot of illuminated folk. Whether they can do things or can't do things is none of my business, but they're still people at the heart of it, and I've met plenty of people.
Did it feel like you were dealing with a person out there?
It didn't feel like I was dealing with a well person, but things like that, I mean, it seemed like if that wasn't a creature, if it was a person, as you say, he was in some sort of anguish.
That seems like maybe you know something I don't. Anguish? I mean, is a warkin in anguish when it rips the throat out of someone to eat? Is Agripelter in anguish when it throttles you over the head? That ain't anguish. That's just the way they work.
But you're kind of losing the thread with me here, because if you kill a workin or if you kill an Agripelter, they don't become human. They don't revert to a different form. That doesn't make sense to me.
So this thing didn't look human and it died and then it looked human and all of a sudden you got feelings about it? I'd say what's more important is what it was doing while it was still kicking. Not what it looks like when it's a corpse.
If somebody is trying to kill you, if you, goodness forbid, you get taken by some sort of enemy, like a cultist of some sort, and they do experiments on you or try to turn you into something that you're not, are you not going to fight back?
You got an awful active imagination there, Mr. Janus.
They tell me that. I used to work on a ship. I told stories.
Sounded like something out of Light in the Darkness.
I was gonna say, I believe that was an arc.
Oh, that's right. I just got to that one. Oh, I still don't know how's he gonna dig out of the thing.
Oh, you'll be surprised.
Look, the kind of questions.
That's all I'm gonna say.
The kind of questions you're asking, Mr. Janus, those are exactly the kind of questions we're trying to answer at Brimstone. Honestly, I mean, firsthand experience that you have could be valuable there. All of y'all. And I imagine the colonel's going to want to debrief you. I mean, I can't speak for the captain, but y'all are interested in lending your expertise and experience. Fort Dearborn Militia would be happy to have you. As not even conscripts, I imagine. But again, I can't speak for the captains. That's something to bring up with him.
Well, if Brimstone is everything you say that it is, helping people, hunting down actual threats, then, I'm sure we'd love to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Brimstone was at the forefront of CBRN defense during the in the lieu of the Protomart crisis. Protomartyrs, they had depots all over the place. And when people uncovered them, they got all sorts of problems. Radiation, electromagnet magnet interference, psychosis, and Brimstone studied and interacted with them sites. And if it wasn't for Brimstone, I mean, Fort Dearborn would have lost a lot of folk. But we saw the threat, we identified the threat, and we learned from it, studying it, and doing so. Some of the best anti-radiation medication out there is now courtesy of Brimstone Garrison. That goes beyond just Fort Dearborn territory. That's manifest wide. That nice little doohickey you got there, she says, pointing at your Omni. Bet some of the stuff it synthesizes there is based on data gathered at Brimstone.
I believe it. Do I know what CBRN stands for?
Gosh, I should know. It's chemical Forget what the B is.
Burn.
No.
My guess is chemical, biological, radiological.
Yep. And nuclear. Chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defense. CBRN defense. And you know that proto-martyrs, they were extremely advanced technologically, and they were, so far, to date, at least post-Factory Wars, the only faction on Manifest that was able to manufacture nuclear weapons, which they did 4 times in an attempt to destroy the Badlands.
Wow. Bunch of psychos. She mentioned something about being surprised by or not actually like not having the information that what was inside the creature was a person. Can I tell whether or not that's true?
You don't know for sure. The one thing you have is Dex's initial read that she knows more.
Yeah. Sure.
So it's kind of a toss-up whether or not she knew that was a person. At least based on the information you have currently.
Good.
Well, I don't know. That sounds interesting, but I prefer to travel. I don't know, unless you're getting a lot of stuff down in like beautiful San Cordero or at the fights in Liberty City. Oh man.
I've never made it up to Liberty City. I'm surprised you've gotten there.
No, I'd like to see them. I'm trying to get out. I haven't been many places between. I've been places between the Winona Valley and Waypoint, and a little bit around Winona Valley, and then the places we've been.
Right. Well, I don't know. Seeing the fights in Liberty City, that certainly beats going back to Fort Dearborn in the middle of the Badlands.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'd see it one day. But I got a list.
I'd love to see that. Maybe I could suggest something to add to it.
Excellent. Yeah, always open. I got it in my new journal. And I sort of like try to like start up a conversation with Porter to like get her out of the room.
It works. She as soon as
uncomfortable.
As soon as you just kind of start focusing in on a personal conversation with Porter, she checks a couple more things on a couple of the machines, and then at a point where like your conversation dips for a second, she goes, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and attend to some other things. I got a couple guards posting outside. If you need anything, just shout. But otherwise, I suggest you stay here for a few more hours. You might feel better along the way, but this light here, when it turns green, that means all your meds are pumped through you nice and good. So when it's green, you're good to go if you're feeling up to it. But again, any side effects, anything that you don't expect, anything strange, you call out to the guards. They'll get me or Stalinsky."
Yep, got it. Green means go. We've got it.
Sure.
Right. And then she leaves the tent. The two of you are alone. Well, I guess you're alone, except for Metzger and Ralston and Castilla are also there, but they are still unconscious.
Good. Can I? Is there a way to use the Omni tool to see if there are like military listening devices or something in this tent?
Interesting. You can roll technology and use the benefit of your Omni tool in doing so,
which is +2.
+1 and +1 reliability.
+1 reliability. Sure. All right. Yeah.
Better not be reading a dice on the floor. You know that don't count. You know they're unreadable.
You know, I've never played that, but I respect you. Fine, that's fair.
I mean, how would you even read the number on it? There's no number on it. What's on the floor?
It's way too far away. It's all dark.
Way too far.
It gets blurry.
It's permanently blurry.
I'm going to I have the grit for this. I'm gonna spend 2 grit to play to the gallery so I can count this 8.
Oh, okay. So you just got the 1 success then?
2 successes. I have a 2 and an 8.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Yeah, you take a little bit more time than maybe you would like. You can either stop halfway through or go the whole duration. Halfway through, definitely no listening device. Want to go the whole duration, or do you want to call it good at half?
I really don't want them to wake up. I want to have some sort of private conversation. I'll finish it. I think I'm just like, once I start, I get distracted by this cool tool that I've never used before.
Cool. So you spend about an hour, and sure enough, during that time, you are able to confirm no listening devices.
Great. Excellent.
Dang, those guys have been out a long time.
No kidding. I hope they're okay. Hopefully they just put, like some kind of sleeping tonic or something so they can get more rest.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so.
Alf
sort of hit his head pretty hard.
I noticed that. He's very bloody.
Yeah. Oof. Hope he's all right.
Gus, I don't like this situation that we're in for you and
Al. I don't know if I super want to talk about it with them boys right there. Them folks right there.
That's fair. But
I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to get out there and travel. I don't necessarily want to be part of no militia, no Fort Dearborn.
I'll go ahead and say, Porter, because I know you have a good enough first aid skill.
Mm-hmm.
You can read the monitors that are attached to them, and you'll know whether or not any of them are conscious as long as you're paying attention.
Sure. They're out as far as I can tell. We don't have listening devices. I'd like just for a check-in to make sure that you're all right.
I don't know. Yeah, Porter, I'm fine. I'm a big beefy guy. And
no,
Gus just sort of like looks over at the front of the tent where there's like guards apparently stationed. It's like, I'm fine, I'm a big guy. I can take care of myself. Like those people out there can probably take care of themselves.
Oh, yeah, probably. I'm sure. Yes, that's fair. Oh, I do hope that we get to Liberty City. I'd like for you to see the fights.
Yeah, tell me what else you got on your list. Maybe there's some paper in here. My journal's back. It's, I guess, back in the tent. I didn't really bring it with me. Oh. But yeah, what places you got? I got Liberty City. I hear San Cordero is beautiful. I want to see Ion Harbor. I want to see what all that's about. It's a harbor with no water. How strange is that?
Ion Harbor. It's from what I hear is beautiful. I'm just gonna regale him a list of all of my favorite places that I've been in Markham's Landing. And
Iron Harbor, it's called that because it butts up against swampland and it has a couple paths that can be approached by like certain types of ships,
right?
And so like one of the times you were on like a shipment, you did have to deliver to Iron Harbor. Never been in the city, but you saw it from the docks, which are actually like really far away from the city. But like it's kind of like being in a suburb. If you live like near the docks of Iron Harbor, it's like you're part of Iron Harbor, but you're not within the walls. That's
absolutely. Yeah, I'm from Iron Harbor. Oh, what part? Dockford. Oh, so not real Iron Harbor.
Yeah, and I tell him about the passageways. I've been on at least one of those ships and I assume it involves some sort of like hover technology to actually get through the shallow. Like the ship isn't actually like fully hovering above the water, but it would be pushing up against the floor of the swamp just to like let the keel raise a little bit to get through it.
Oh,
And I'll kind of.
dang. It's like the boats are also sort of flying.
A little bit, yeah, exactly.
There's flying. They got flying boats in Ion Harbor. I gotta go see the dang flying boats. We need paper. We need pen.
Right, my geography is not perfect, but I can at least remember some things.
Porter, you also, as soon as they have flying boats, you've heard, being a city living person, you've heard that in Iron Harbor they have bicycles also fly.
I'd love to get you on. Hey, you do know how to ride a bike?
I think I saw a bike getting rode once.
Oh, well, this will be the same thing, except you'll be flying. No trouble for you at all.
Oh yeah, that sounds really interesting. That's really neat, and I ain't never heard of that before.
The green light does turn on, which lets you know that you are good to leave whenever you.
All right, well, want to get out of here, and while we're on our way back, Alana's Gate and Alana's Stead. Which one should I go to first?
I'm famished. I'll tell you on the way.
All right. Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, you're able to grab some grub and you join Dex at the tents. Dex, you're well done cleaning your guns at this point when Porter and Gus rejoin you. Eloise is hard at work, getting very close to having to complete. He has the motor set up on the cable line, and they're finishing the structural building of the kind of like basket, effectively, that is going to carry people across this ravine.
Yeah, I think Dex just sort of nods at the two when they come over.
Cheers, Dex. Did you get some food? I could grab you a plate if you want mine.
I've been eating my rations.
Fair enough.
Did she try to convince you to go back to Brimstone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They consider themselves like monster hunter heroes, what I got from the conversation. But, they're hunting monsters that they created, so I don't know where the honor is in that.
Yeah, and I said no thanks. Too stationary.
Smart. Probably a good idea.
Anyways, you got any feeling on the two Alanas? Anywhere I need to go? Oh, should I come visit the peak? Oh, got to put the peak on the list. I'm making the list of places to go.
Gus grabs his journal out of.
Yeah, if you
All
like.
right, now. Zane Cordair, got it. Oh yeah. Yeah, so whereabouts is it?
It's in the mountains north of Waypoint. I say confident in my answer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in mountains that are north of Waypoint.
Yeah, northeast.
Yeah. It's more, I think, probably west of Uphill.
But I mean, Gus.
More accurate.
Gus is trying to tell the difference between the settlement Alana's Gate and the city
Sure,
Alana's Stead.
Sure.
Anyways, Eloise, you make plenty of good progress during this time. And you're able to step away for a minute. You step away at like 98% completion, and you're actually pretty sure at this point you can walk away and they can finish the project without. Like they just need to finish like the structural integrity of the like.
You just need to do integrity checks, obviously not over the cliff face, and then it like supplies on a double run back and forth. Make sure that it's weighted to like the like, kilo limit. And then when you're gonna do the first people test, I just come and get me, please.
So you're confident within like the last hour or like half an hour that like these are trained, intelligent, strong engineers. They just don't know how to fabricate things from nothing, but they are entirely competent at this.
Right,
And
but I built this bridge.
and so the one thing you say is like, if you're gonna test it with people, let me know. And that's the first time in this entire process get a little bit of pushback as they go, well, I mean, we go with what the captain says.
Oh,
But we'll make sure it's definitely safe, miss. You do not worry.
okay.
They get back to work following your instructions to a T.
Okay. I feel weird about that, but I guess I will go sort of back over to my friends.
Yeah, you're able to grab some food, which is like part of the reason why you walked away was you were starving. You get some food and you rejoin Dex, Porter, and Gus at your guys' little tent area.
It's almost done, actually. So,
Oh, that's amazing. Well done.
yeah, they're going to test it without me. Apparently, they don't want me to test it.
Huh.
But I guess like that's what happens in architecture, right? Like you eventually have somebody else like actually you have the construction and then you have the architect, and the architect doesn't necessarily stress test the beams or anything. So I just like have never not taken something all the way to fruition. So I just it's fine.
What's an architect?
Right. It's a person who designs buildings.
Huh.
Like so, because buildings, if you make them badly, they'll like fall over because they won't be
Yeah, no, you put the 4 walls up, you put a roof over it.
right. But if like the 4 walls are like too far apart and you want to make like a second story,
Yeah, you get a bigger roof.
you have to put support beams underneath it to like
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't sag and fall in. There's like people who do that for like their whole jobs.
Like raising a barn.
Yes. More like
Okay.
designing the barn that then gets raised by people who aren't them.
All right.
Weird.
It's for like fancier houses, like if you're just making like a never mind.
Hey, I guess so. Should we pack up? Sounds like we're going.
Yeah, the camp actually looks pretty packed up at this.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to be ready to go quick if we have to.
That makes sense.
Cool. So all of you are able to pack up your stuff. All of you can also take a grit for excellent roleplay. And I think that puts Dex at 7, Eloise at 9, Porter at 4, Gus at 6.
Should we get a grit for surviving a dangerous situation?
Ooh, you do. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. You each get a grit for surviving a life-threatening situation.
And I think
Secret. Go into another.
I think I have 3 grit now because I spent 2 grit earlier.
Okay. Trust your account more than I trust mine.
Good.
All right. Cool. So you pack up your stuff, and Breckenridge greets you as you're almost unpacking up your stuff. Howdy. Hell of a thing out there. Y'all all right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Brick. I think we're doing okay.
Because can be expected.
Honestly, I'm glad you put that thing down. I was on next patrol.
Dang, we got to get you to that hat store.
I mean, we're gonna have hats, but it ain't just that. It's a tailor shop.
Tailor shop. Right. So it's hats and other stuff.
All right, it's everything. A little bit of a haberdashery, a little bit of tailoring. She does it all. She's wonderful.
That's excellent. I'll be there for a new pair of overalls as soon as I can.
Hell, son, you walk into Bone Summit, you're gonna walk out with something better than overalls. God damn, you know there's fabrics out there that are just as durable and look a hell of a lot better.
Hold on. Dang, I mean, I don't know. You put whatever on me, you think's right. I'm not a judge. I'm not a fashion. I don't know.
That's what the missus is
Clothes.
for. She knows her way around that kind of stuff. So I'll make sure she hooks you up if you ever come by. But we're gonna have ourselves. I still got it a couple more weeks before I retire. So let's go ahead and the captain was asking to speak with y'all. Understand you've been through a bit of an ordeal. I understand he wants to talk to you a little bit.
Of course.
All right. And let me tell you, I appreciate each and every one of you. I think if you didn't go on that patrol that you went on, none of them soldiers would have made it back alive. And them good people, each and every one of them, gave their lives and limbs on the line for Dearmore. So I'm glad y'all went with them. Because if they had just brought off another 2 privates, I don't think they would have made it back. We'd still be out here hunting that thing down. So good on all of you taking it down.
Thanks,
That's
Brett.
just nods.
That's real nice of you.
And Mr. Gurley, want to let you know, as far as me and my squad are concerned, you're all right in our book.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't let anyone. There's some people a little concerned having found out about your abilities this late in the game, but
What abilities?
this is awkward, I guess. But I mean, Miss Reynolds, we camp all learned about what you was capable of the other night. Mr. Gurley apparently seems to be talented as well. I guess I just assumed the 4 of you all knew that about each other.
No. I mean, like, I do, but
Oh,
guess ain't like that.
Private Metzger woke up talking up a storm about what Mr. Gurley is capable of. And like I said,
Oh,
everyone's
so-
a little concerned about it, but I mean, Mr.
no,
Gurley,
I mean, but they're wrong, is the thing.
sorry?
You should be disabused of that situation right away. I'm so sorry for the confusion.
Well, if you got something to clear the waters on this, I'd love to hear it.
Well, you know that we've already established, and so the thing is that I have more abilities than just the things that y'all saw me do earlier. I think maybe Private Metzger did misinterpret what he saw is all. So I'd be happy to clear it up.
Sorry, what did Metzger say?
Hell, Metzger said Mr. Gurley here blinked his eyes, teleported up 5 stories onto a mountainside, and then flew off it like a bird.
So that's
I think Metzger
when
might have hit his head a little harder than. I mean, have you checked him out? He might have a
Porter,
concussion.
it's okay, Porter. When I panic, sometimes I can pull people who make me feel safe to me. So that was me.
You're saying that was all you?
Well, not all of it. Gus is still extremely strong and capable, and like he did take the landing real good, considering I wasn't real focused.
Roll a manipulate test.
Can I
I would like-
assist? I have to be assisting this.
Porter, I'll let you assist at a -2.
Yeah. Also, I would like to bamboozle
How many
Um,
times?
3 times.
Down to 7, and I have grit again. I'm at 3 grit.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm spending 2 grit to play to the gallery to count this 12.
Okay.
Or no, play to the gallery is right.
Porter, you're down 1 grit.
Right. Well, it's 4, 5 hits, but it's a high of an 11. I've got a 9/11.
In this particular instance, it's a normal test for you to assist.
good.
So, Eloise, you get a +5 to this.
Okay.
I got bamboozled, so I have a 5.
Okay. I have a high of 15. And I have 4 net hits over that.
Woo!
I mean, they're all the rest of them are all real low. Is the thing, just the 15, and then I've got a 10, a 7, and a 5.
So Breckenridge goes, so that was all you. All right. Hell, Ms. Reynolds, you
I just don't want, like there's it's a little bit of a
I understand. My
thing, and I
apologies, Mr. Gurley. My apologies. My sincere apologies misrepresenting you. I will make sure everyone knows that was all Miss Reynolds then. Well, hot damn, Miss Reynolds. You are just layers and layers of talented.
Well, I just I don't. It's only when I'm panicking, only when I really feel in danger.
Well-
I don't really.
Oh,
I
look,
appreciate
hey,
it. It's not really anything.
I mean, look, I know that illuminated folk, they have a hard time of it here in Fort Dearborn from time
I
to
do
time.
physically shrink away from him at this.
He kind of says this to the whole group. Like, I know illuminated folk have it hard from time to time in Fort Dearborn, but my second cousin is just a little bit illuminated. And, I ain't ever seen him go mad with any kind of sickness, so I think maybe just the science ain't fully out on there.
You gotta tell the rest of your soldiers that. They're jumping at their own shadow out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we go up against something like what we just saw. That fella there, I mean, I get it. Something like that. Someone with those kind of
Breckenridge?
abilities.
The only person out there fit to deal with an angry warrican was Castilla.
Or, and I believe that these privates, they don't have any business being out here. This high danger situation, not at all.
Then why were they sent out here then?
Well, that's beyond my pay grade there, sir. You're gonna have to bring that up with the captain.
It
they will.
almost seems like
But
They
Fort
were sent
Dearborn
out here to
militia,
die.
it's always struggling. It's always struggling to keep the ranks full, especially these days. I mean, after the proto-martyr crisis, we had plenty of recruits. But plenty of people, they serve their 1 year, their 1 tour necessary for citizenship, and then they move on. They go on, they get soft, they open up shop. Ain't no one. It's harder to find career soldiers these days. Which is probably why these youngins are out here, right? We don't have veterans anymore. It's just turning over the same people, just getting citizenship. I imagine half of these greenhorns are going to scrub out after their first tour.
I know it's out of your hands, but the wrong tool is worse than no tool.
Yeah. You're right saying it's out of my hands there, sir.
I don't want to keep the captain waiting.
Yeah, he's in his tent waiting for you.
I head towards his tent.
Cool. All of you do?
I have sorry, just a quick question because I had a brain blast. Have we seen anybody in the militia with tattoos?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, plenty of them have tattoos.
Okay. Sorry, I've just got hunches over here that are turning over.
Sure. Yeah. So you all make your way into the captain's tent. He is there poring over a map of the area, seeming to try and like plan like the optimal route back to Waypoint. And he looks up and he sees you and he nods to Jaeger and Corporal Michaels, and they leave as you walk in. And he goes, "Hell, y'all picked the right patrol to go on. Can I get you anything to drink? I got water, or if you're needing something to take the edge off, I got some port here."
Very kind. Just water for me.
All right.
Water's fine.
Yeah, I'll hydrate.
Grabs a pitcher, starts pouring glasses. Goes, "Please take a seat."
Sit.
He gives you each a glass of water, sits down, sips his own, sets it down, and goes, "Well, it has been something else, hasn't it?"
That's one way of saying it, I suppose. Something else.
Now, I imagine the four of y'all have seen a lot of stuff being drifters as you are, but well, there's a protocol for stuff like this when it comes to the militia. I mean, when we get back to Waypoint, Colonel Mitchell's gonna want to have a word with the four of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Don't imagine it will be too hard. I do think we left Waypoint in a little bit of a speed, and so if I were to guess, you may end up having a meeting with both the mayor and the colonel at once. Waypoint likes its independence a little bit, so chances are the mayor's going to want to sit in on that.
Okay.
But for the time being, I mean, I'm likely to talk to the colonel beforehand, so why don't y'all tell me what you saw out there? Got some reports, but I mean, Metzger, Castilla, and Ralston, they're still on the mend. So, what happened out there?
And we found the creature. We fought it. We killed it.
What of the fella it was?
I didn't see the fella.
I saw him for like a second, and then there's like a big flash and knocked everybody out.
Hell of a thing. What happened to him? Y'all ever seen anything like that before?
What happened to him?
I mean, he's a poor illuminated soul, as far as I can tell. I mean, I don't mean to say I understand the mysteries of illumination, but hell, something happened to him. We plan to figure out what. I was hoping you could shed a light.
I rolled to get a read on Schaefer last session, and I got a pretty good one. But it amounted to like he's gonna obfuscate and stall until like he has to like give me a tiny thing, and then he's gonna keep doing that. Is it worth it to try and roll to read him again in this moment on this, or does it feel like part of that previous read?
It's a bit of that. right? He's gonna give you a little bit. He's gonna stall. He wants you to talk to. He wants to keep you on the string. It feels similar. It feels like that same task.
Okay, so it's not. It doesn't feel worth it to like try and read further into his character here.
Not particularly. If you were trying to figure out exactly the things he is obfuscating on in this particular situation, that would be another role. But just like in general, this tact feels familiar.
And yeah, actually, when I ask what happened to him, I want to know what he knows.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and roll.
I will bamboozle him 4 times.
4 times.
I'm sick of this dude. I am waiting for him to do literally anything that my code will allow me to shoot him for.
That's a whole double down worth of bamboozle. It's 2 turns worth of bamboozle.
Ooh, that's a pretty good roll.
I have a high of 8.
I have 3 8s.
What?
Oh my god. Okay. Do I spend this 9? Or do I spend grit to count this 9? I don't think I do. I'll let you have 3 8s on this. Yeah, so the read you get on Schaefer is he thinks he knows things. He has a decent understanding. You get the sense of he is a soldier who exists in a weird space that is need to know. And based on what he needed to know, he's been able to make some assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
Exact detailed information he may not have. But he at least has more information than he's letting you on, just in general. That was a thing you already knew. And he has what he thinks is going on, he's keeping to himself. And the other thing is that you get with 3 successes, is he is loyal to Fort Dearborn through and through. You already knew this. But to the point where it doesn't matter how sweet and kind and understanding he is, the moment that you are a threat to his unit or the colonel or Fort Dearborn, this man will turn on you.
Can I get any sense of what he thinks he knows happened to Jack Taylor?
No. Not with the information you currently have. You think if you had some more information, maybe, but
so okay, I have one more follow-up question that is maybe like the last angle to come at this. Sure. If it's nothing, that's fine. Porter already said that he's pretty sure that Brimstone is doing human experiments on illuminated people. Does Schaefer think that Brimstone is responsible for Jack Taylor?
Maybe. But what you get more than whether or not he thinks that is you get the sense of if he did think that, he might not care. Because he's a Fort Dearborn loyalist.
Bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But well, honestly, I wanted to talk to y'all to get a first-hand recount of what had happened. Figured I'd talk to you. Y'all seem to recover faster than my soldiers.
Right, your soldiers were hit pretty hard. I mean, the soldiers that you sent after it.
Tell me what you saw out there. I want you to spare no detail.
You've seen what this thing can do. It has an energy blast. It was an impossible fighting machine, and we were fighting it alongside your soldiers, alongside your privates. Why do you have your most inexperienced soldiers out here looking and fighting for this thing.
That's something that rubs me the wrong way. I ain't in charge of deployment, but you ain't wrong. You have quite a few greenhorns out here, a couple of boots, but at the end of the day, you gotta make do with what you got, and this is what Fort Dearborn gave us. I mean, there's plenty of seasoned soldiers in the 108th, but we came on patrol with more than a few people with less experience. That's why I was keenly interested in the four of you joining the fight. I mean, the four of you have more miles on you than half the soldiers out on this patrol away from the garrison. Now, in the garrison, plenty of veterans, but right now, Colonel's got some of the maybe it's a training exercise. I don't know. Dex, do you think he understands the curse, or than he is? I don't know what it could have been, but I mean, this is what we got, and I mean, they're good soldiers. They went out of boot camp and they passed their test. They're better than any other soldier you're gonna find in any other militia. But I mean, going up against something like what you saw out there, I mean, ain't no one ready for that.
Oh, dang, and I'm sorry, it broke your dang stick.
That's all right. We were able to recover it, Mr. Gurley. It went the way of the others. Apparently, the technicians back at Brimstone are going to have to give that thing another go, make it a little more durable.
Yeah, it was easy for it. I got in there. I got it a little bit. Would have been nice if I had some backup, but
I understand you had some trouble with your arms.
Oh, I mean they burned it. It burned me. He burned me. Yeah, I grabbed it. I sort of put it in a sort of a half Nelson, more of a sort of modified headlock, really. And then where my arms had it, it burned me, but not like regular burn. Like, I don't know, whatever light it's got, it burned me.
Hell, glad you made it out right. Doctors tell me you're going to make a good recovery there. Your arm should be back to normal in a couple days. Dex, last little bit of insight you get there. Schaefer now knows that Gus is a loser.
Hey, what happened to the bridge?
Bridge. I don't. You mean
You telling me you've been camped here for a day and a half? You didn't have anybody take a look at the bridge, find out what knocked it down?
Well, I mean, people took a look. And no one know one way or the other. You ask me. That's just a crazy theory here. I ain't gonna say this is definitely what happened, but if I were to venture a guess, only thing I've seen in these mountains capable of doing that is the thing y'all put down. I think that thing trapped us here.
It didn't come this way.
I mean, it's fast. Could have come here before us. Could have come here before it attacked us the first time. We left this bridge
it's smart
a few
enough
days
to
ago.
set a trap.
It's a
And
person.
not smart enough to wait for us after an overnight march.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna speak to the motivations of a shine sick individual, but hell,
Isn't that your job?
I mean, if I were in its position, I felt like a unit was coming after me, I would try to box them in. I think that's what it did.
Can I roll to see if you really think it's the creature that did this?
Yeah, absolutely. You were up against an 11. It is manipulate.
So that's a 16 and 3 17s before the reroll. And that's a 7 on the reroll.
So no successes then.
No.
I don't know.
Why did I pick a talking character? That was a mistake, I think.
Seems genuine.
Great.
But Schaefer
No,
has
it's
always seemed genuine.
Right.
Do you guys, he presses a little bit more, basically trying to get an actual like blow by blow recount of what you
I'd be happy to give you like a written affidavit if that would help.
That would be of a great help. Yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
Miss Ray.
and then you could pass it on as sort of an official document. I think.
Absolutely.
Great. I would love to do that for you.
He provides you with pen and papers so you can start working on it now if you want. And he goes, honestly, now the colonel is gonna want to talk to y'all when we get back into town, but
Well, isn't that beyond his jurisdiction, sir?
to talk to you,
To force the issue? Sir?
not when it comes to, I mean, it ain't gonna come to that, Miss Reynolds.
I mean,
I'm here to
I
ask.
think probably, excuse me for interrupting, if you would, but basically, we citizens of Waypoint, which are Dearborn Territory citizens, were attacked, and we were dispatched not by the military, not by the militia, but by the Waypoint authorities, and then you came to us and attached your operation to us. So by swooping in and helping us and providing us with voluntarily, not at our request, with supplies and sort of manpower, which I think we do very much appreciate, still doesn't mean that we are actually a part of this military operation, sir. According to, I believe, Fort Dearborn Protocol.
I believe I have been very clear from the get-go. When we arrived, you were free to leave. When we proceeded, you were free to move on your own. 4 of you agreed to work with us here in the mountains. Now, that don't make you conscripts. None of you are beholden to the Fort Dearborn militia insofar
So I
as...
think my affidavit would suffice if it was attested to by the rest of us. Would it not?
I ain't gonna speak for the colonel when it comes to what he will
Then
and
you
won't
shouldn't,
accept.
because he's above your rank, sir. I believe.
You ain't wrong, Miss Reynolds.
Well then, I think probably if he needs us, he can always reach through our dispatcher. And I think that there's nothing further to discuss here, sir.
Miss Reynolds, I do not understand. What have I done to deserve this curt behavior?
I think that if you don't know, I think that if you don't know what you're doing, that you are the most ignorant person in the world, sir. And I do not think you are the most ignorant person in the world. I'm happy to help your troops. But don't you dare think that I don't know what's going on.
You can roll intimidate.
I don't. It's not going to work.
Even Gus has terrible intimidate.
I have good intimidate, but I only roll 1 die.
Intimidate's down here under personality, and it's called challenge.
Yeah. No, this is more of a, well.
You were up against a 9.
Am I? Really? Oh no, I have kicked the bee's nest. I was planning to fail. I have a 10.
Okay, so you have 1 success over. He pulls back for a second and goes, Like I said, you ain't wrong. I apologize for putting you in a position where you feel uncomfortable. Your help here in the mountains has been invaluable and saved many lives. I thought 5 of us were on the same page out here. I thought we was allies. But this is fine. I understand the need for individuality that a drifter has. It is my duty to humbly request that 4 of you find your way to Brimstone Garrison. Now, we are happy to provide you with an escort in such a case, but till you are conscripted, you are in no obligation to go at any particular pace one way or another. But as a captain of Brimstone Garrison, understanding the duty of that station, your assistance would be of great help. You see, at Brimstone, we specialize in dealing with unique threats to Fort Dearborn and Manifest as a whole. 4 of you have first-hand experience. Twice over. Something that we don't quite understand yet. We could very much use your input there.
Great. Porter would love to look at the body.
I can't authorize that without the Colonel's consent.
So you don't want our assistance?
Should
I go across the bridge and salvage the rest of it like I said I would, or do you not want that either?
Your assistance is much needed.
Sure. Until it's not.
You must understand.
We know so much, but we don't know enough? Or we're not
It ain't
clear
me
enough?
you need to talk to. It's
you
the
are
Colonel.
The person in charge here, sir.
And I'm telling you, Miss Reynolds, I am telling you.
Captain, I am telling you right now, sir, that you are obfuscating, and you could just say, I can't. But you're trying to stay on our sweet sides like candy, but you're sour on the inside, sir. And I think that you would do well to stop your games. I see your hatred and your mean spirit, and I see it. And I see it in the rest of your people. So don't you tell me about threats. Don't you tell me about your special mission. You should be ashamed. And I get up and I leave.
As you're walking out, he goes, sweet side or no?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, sir.
It ain't me you should be throwing your vitriol at. It's the Colonel. I don't call the shots. I have my mission. My mission is complete. And based on the parameters given to me by the Colonel, he says this to the rest of you. Mm-hmm. Based on the parameters given to me by the Colonel, the 4 of you should report to him. I was simply making what I thought was a reasonable request for your cooperation and assistance in something that is very important to the safety of the people of Fort Dearborn.
I understand that, Captain. I completely get what you're saying. As residents of Waypoint, of the Badlands, of Fort Dearborn territory proper, I also want safety. I'm on your side, just as you are on ours. Now, I know our arrangement is one of, I would say, tense bartering at times. But if you grant me access, I can assist in helping you figure out what the hell is going on in this situation. That's why we went on this.
I know what you did with Mr. McKay. I can't imagine you won't be of assistance, but things like this, it has to be done at Brimstone. We can't sit here in the mountains and poke holes in a man we don't have the equipment to inspect. We gotta get back to the garrison. Now, You three, he says, standing up and like pouring himself a harder drink.
Gus actually sort of as Eloise was leaving, Gus stood up and then this guy started talking and Gus sort of edged his way over toward just sort of like and then he just sort of went after Eloise.
Yeah.
Sort
of as he says, I guess before he says you three, he stands up and goes, Mr. Gurley, would you like to excuse yourself?
They can handle it.
Gus, you leave, and then he turns to Dex and Porter and goes, now you two, he says, walking over as he pours himself a harder drink, need to see to Miss Reynolds' temper. Someone with her abilities being that loud and angry in Fort Dearborn, I mean, she's like to run into all sorts of trouble.
That's not where we are, Captain.
In the time we've been here, I believe she's had 4 slurs shouted at her. That was before she got angry. If you're terrified of illuminated people, you really ought to stop poking them.
So what, we just acquiesce to whatever they want? These people
Schaefer?
you travel with.
I'm asking you to be nice.
Sir, I've extended the 4 of you every courtesy I possibly could. It would have been exactly within my rights to conscript you by force into the Fort Dearborn militia and force you to cooperate. But instead, I'm extending you the decency of acting of your own accord.
Schaefer,
And instead,
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you are upset that someone is angry, that they've had slurs shouted at them. Walk me through that logic.
Out here in the field, there's only so much you can control. The people that serve underneath me may comport themselves in an unfavorable way. But the
It
fear
reflects poorly on you.
But the fear of people like Miss Reynolds and Mr. Gurley is justified. And for you to go out there and see what you saw of that man and not be afraid makes me question exactly how naive you are.
Schaefer, I'm not afraid because the Fort Dearborn militia didn't train me.
Talking about what that fella out there is capable of. What he did. That was an illuminated individual driven to madness by his uncontrollable power.
And I shot him to death.
Well, ain't everyone a gunslinger now, are they? You have capabilities, sir. All of you do. Drifters ain't cut of the same cloth as other people. But every man, woman, and child in Fort Dearborn deserves to feel safe. Someone like that, people like that, who can do things like that, you're going to tell me that they're just going to have to hope that they got good intentions?
That's right.
I mean, you hope everyone in this camp with a gun doesn't feel like shooting everyone else.
A gun sends a bullet from point A to point B. This fella
And it
opens
kills the
his
person
face
at
and
point B.
vaporizes a rock.
And kills the person at point B. Laser out of the face, bullet out of the gun, it's the same thing.
This is the kind of stuff we research at Brimstone. This is the kind of stuff. There's more than just you can't be that naive. You got to know that illuminated people can do all sorts of things. Warp people's minds. They can disintegrate things, they can move things around. It ain't just simple arithmetic. They bend the nature of reality around them, and that is something that needs to be understood.
Here's what I understand. That thing teleported across a mountain range. It blended into the shadows. It jumped farther and faster than anything I've ever seen move. It cracked open its face and shot a laser at me a number of times. And then I shot it to death with a gun. I don't see what's so hard to understand.
Well, that's an awful lot of privilege you wield with your training, your secret ways as a gunslinger. Anyone in any settlement of Fort Dearborn ain't gonna have that kind of schooling and training at their back. Hell,
Well,
most of them ain't got guns.
Schaefer, what I'm trying to tell you is I don't think understanding it better is going to make your guys better at shooting it.
Find a way to beat them and be mass produced, we will.
Aim better.
Sirs, I would like to request again politely that you and your friends find their way to Brimstone to assist in assessing the threats that stand before Fort Dearborn and the rest of Manifest. That is all I am willing to do. I do understand that the colonel will want to speak with you. Return to Fort Dearborn.
Waypoint.
Or that when you return to Waypoint. That is all I know. It seems we have reached a temporary impasse that I hope we can overcome with more time, more trust between us.
Tell your guys to stop shouting slurs at Eloise.
You have names of folk have
Ralston, Metzger, the rest of their squad.
I will launch an investigation, sir. My word.
Oh, I have to roll to see how angry Tex is here in this moment. Very. Are you going to do better than when Ralston shot a guy in the back?
If you have things to say about what has or hasn't transpired in the limits of Waypoint, I suggest you bring that up with the sheriff.
Okay.
My understanding is he is a tough cookie when it comes to breaking the law.
Hey, Schaefer. I'll see you in Waypoint. And Tex gets up and leaves.
Sits there for a second with you. Goes, I did not invite the four of you into this tent to be your enemy. Thought we could be friends. Thought we could find some common.
I can guarantee you none of my friends walked into this tent intending to be your enemy.
I know you ain't from Fort Dearborn, sir. But problems that faces, they extend beyond borders. It's planet wide. I think the four of you can do great things. Stone. I hope you hear me when I say that I think it's in your best interest to go there.
I'll keep that in mind, Captain. I know that we could do great things, but just based on the way you talk and based on the way your men and your soldiers behave, I don't know. it seems as though you are setting a dangerous precedent with a type of people who, as you say, are planet wide. So I'll consider it. But I think if you really want to solve a problem, if you truly believe that you are solving a problem using science or whatever it is that Brimstone does, you're not going to be able to do it coming from a place of judgment. You need a person who is skilled and a person who is scientifically minded, and I would be glad to do that. But before I even think about it, I need to know what you're actually dealing with.
Skilled and scientifically minded. I watched Miss Reynolds solve an impossible problem in less than 24. I watched her thwart the most powerful illuminated being I've ever seen in my life. Her own abilities. You don't think she's exactly the person we need behind closed doors, solving the problems of the illuminated threat? Her perspective is invaluable, Mr. Janus. For her to walk off and build LRC towers, settlements of Fort Dearborn would be a waste of her potential. Hope you can help her see that. Fort Dearborn needs her. But like I said, I didn't come here to tell you what to do to boss you around. Came here to hopefully talk some sense into you. Seem like a good fella with a good head on your shoulder. No trigger happy gunslinger. No Valley yokel. Hoping you can see some sense here. For the better of all, Manifest.
I appreciate the water, and I appreciate you talking to us. I'll be in contact with you, I suppose.
Right? I don't want to sign no papers, but 4 of you leave Waypoint without talking to the Colonel. If you find a way to skirt that responsibility to our territory, it's going to be rough for y'all. Alicia will not be happy. And I want you to know in no uncertain terms will I recommend a full legal action against the 4 of you. Not do at least a small amount of duty territory talking to the Colonel. I don't want to pull that card. I didn't bring you here to pull that card. It is within my legal right to do so. And I have to put it out there.
I truly appreciate that warning, Captain. But just remember, we've seen your soldiers in action. I mean, your entire garrison couldn't even take care of this one threat. The 4 of us were there, and we're the people who took care of it. So just keep that in mind.
Believe me, it's at the forefront of my mind. Why do you think I don't want the 4 of you as enemies? I want us to work together. Ain't no need for bloodshed here. I understand the drifter life. I get it. Just trying to help y'all see reason. There's a society of people here. It's a territory that needs protection. I ain't just this problem extends beyond your 4 individual.
And it extends outside the lives of Fort Dearborn. And I'd like to think that's who we represent. So Fort Dearborn as a whole, if it's got you and if it's got us protecting every person in it, it should be all right.
Exactly. Be friends. Be allies. Manifest deserves it.
Manifest deserves it indeed.
You have a good night there, Mr. Janus.
You as well, Captain.
My understanding, we'll be able to start carting things over tonight. And make a haste towards Waypoint.
We'll be ready to go then.
Right.
You sleep well, Captain.
Try.
I'll leave.
So Eloise, Dex, and Gus. Eloise, you would have been the first person to see this. And then Dex and Gus. Eloise, they used your transport the other side while you're talking to them. As you leave the tent, the basket, the unit, the gondola is on its way back across its engine work. It's transporting its way back across the ravine.
Okay.
You see about 8 soldiers on the other side. Some supplies seeming to get ready to move along.
Okay.
I misspoke. It's about 6.
Okay. I like stamp my foot real hard. And I like sort of like screw up my face so it doesn't look so upset, and I will walk over to the conveyance. How's it going? Is it working out okay?
Yeah, fully operational as far as we can tell. We did a test run with a heavyweight supply as you recommended. It seemed like it could hold the weight, so we sent some troops over to get supplies moving. Got a long way to Waypoint. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome.
Do you remember the name of? It wasn't Donovan. Was it Walters who was the head engineer? Or was it Florina?
Florina, I think.
Florina sounds right to me as too.
So Florina steps forward and says, "We have it from here, Miss Reynolds. Thank you so much for your service."
Why? I mean, are you trying to get me to leave, I guess?
Well, I am under orders from the captain to see to the transport of supplies across here. I have not been authorized to allow non-militia personnel across the ravine.
Sure. So you're dismissing me?
Ma'am, if you have any issues, I believe you should bring it up with the captain. We'll be...
No, I mean, I just asked you a question. What is it you're doing right now to me? Ma'am, if you don't mind.
Yes, for the time being, Miss Reynolds, we have everything under control. You are dismissed.
Wonderful. Okay. You should know then that we haven't done any endurance testing.
Be sure to take it easy.
No, so after every single round trip, you should be testing for the veracity of all of the connections. This is a prototype. You understand that, being part of the 108th. So just be careful. If you don't
You're
want my help anymore, I'm happy to go away and maybe take a rest. I just wanted to just check in on in and on it. I actually didn't ask to go cross. Just looking.
your concerns are noted, Miss Reynolds, and we will be sure to follow through on them.
Wonderful. I am dismissed. And then she's gonna like walk away and then do the cry that she was about to do
Cool.
when she walked out first.
Dex, you step out. You see Eloise rushing away from the spot where the gondola is making its way back. And I need you to roll observe test for me. We'll put it at a.
Getting Gus or Dex?
It is worth noting Gus did leave before me.
Oh, Gus left before you. Okay.
Yeah, he inched out so that me and Porter could talk.
Yeah. So same thing, Gus, but I don't need an observe test from you. You do see Eloise rushing in a hurry back to the tent. She looks a little flushed in the face. She seems upset.
So I'm still rolling observe here.
Dex, you will leave, but the scene is a little. You will roll observe.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to Eloise.
Yeah, you catch up with her at your tents. I assume, Eloise, you look a little distraught.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was amazing in there. Oh my goodness. That was amazing. You yelled at, I don't know, a big army guy. That was cool. For all how big I am, I can't like yell at people or I don't know. Like I don't know. That was cool. Oh no! It was good. No, it was real good. You did good. Oh goodness. Oh, what's going on? I'm sorry. What did I say something? You did.
I imagine Gus just
Oh.
like gives her a big, huge hug.
Yeah, like he's just sort of like, is this okay? I don't like sort of gives her a hug. Like, I'm sorry. I don't. What?
Just keep trying. There isn't like a shut off valve at any point. She just cries.
All right, I'm just gonna be here a little bit. He yelled at him so good. Afterwards, he was so mad and flustered, and I don't know, it's totally different.
He's not. It's not. And then he was like, and I was just so mad, and he hates me so much, and I didn't want, and then I didn't mean, and it's like I should just, but I didn't, and instead, and then they don't want me to go over by the bridge, which is all I wanted to do. I just wanted to look at it, and they were like, "Go away!" And then everybody hates me here because.
But you built the bridge. Oh well, that's a bunch of dang old Ache crap. Oh, we can go look at the bridge.
They said I was dismissed.
That's fine. We can go look at it. Remember when you yelled at those people? And I'm big. To yell.
That's just so
Sometimes they're just like, oh, he's big. You could probably yell. But the secret is I couldn't do it.
they're just it's gonna break. The thing is the cable's only rated for like, I think like 20,000 pounds, and then it needs to be like retested because otherwise it can break and just kill people, and it's just a temporary thing. And I was trying to tell them, they were like, we know, and I was like, do you know? Because I made it. And they were like, no, we're experts, I do everything. And I was like, really? Because you couldn't even braid a cable right. You didn't even triple braid it at first, and I had to show you how, but you know.
Wait, you're saying it could break? We gotta tell them it could break.
I mean, it's probably not gonna break because I did triple check it, but like it could, and then it would be all my fault. And it's just everybody's so mean here.
I know, Eloise. They're all dang mean, but we're gonna go. We're gonna get to Waypoint.
So mean, and I hid it for so long, and then I was like, maybe not, and then they were like, no, that was a bad choice, and we hate you now. And I was like, oh, okay. And then so I was like real small, and then they were like, no, you're not small enough, we want you to not exist. And then I was like, well, I can't do that. And then they were like, we hate you, and also walk into a testing facility where they turned other people into evil like monsters, and maybe
we're not going there
too. And then they were like, no, you gotta talk to him. And I was like, but I'll give you a signed affidavit, there should be enough. And they were like, no, that's not enough, you still gotta have a scary conversation with a guy who's definitely gonna kill you. And I was like, but I don't even know how to hunt. And then it was gonna, and then the bridge is gonna break, and I just
hey oh I'm sorry. Hey Elle, I don't know, I just had I don't know if I'd call it an idea, but I had a thought.
Okay.
I don't know. It's maybe a problem that your brain can work on better than mine and could distract you from how bad things are here. I wonder what that gang, what was his name? Let me remember. Let me search through my brain. I wonder what that Kenny Mathis gang wanted with those LRC parts.
I mean, probably to make their own LRC or sell it, because they could repurpose the parts into something even greater, because they're tightly controlled, because you could probably listen in on like, official channels or whatever, and then you could build your own, like you could even build like a mobile one if you had a technician that was good enough, or like you could probably just like make a bandit settlement, but like not, because like the thing is that the reason it's tightly controlled is so they can collect taxes. And so the thing is that if they steal it and then they have it and they can align it correctly, then they can listen in on like Fort Dearborn malicious stuff, which is actually pretty nice right now. And so like,
that'd
maybe
be really
I'm on their side, and then like, but I'm not on their side because they're killers, and they tried to kill us, and they killed that guy.
But they were like,
I'd never seen a dead body before that guy.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Elle,
and then the funeral was like real pretty, but I didn't get it because he was already dead, and this is just like for the other people, I guess. It was like,
had you not been to a funeral?
It's stupid, and I hate it.
Yeah, they're for the other people.
I didn't get that until later because Dex told me, but like, I
just no, but Elle, what if they're making somewhere for illuminated folks to go?
Like they're forcing illuminated people to go places?
Like somewhere to be that, I don't know, where Fort Dearborn can't find you.
No, I'm a person. I'm allowed to be with people.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah, no, I know, but I don't know. I just wonder what they were up to. Because I was thinking it'd be nice to be around illuminated people.
No, I hate all people. I only
that's
like you
fair.
four.
Elle, and Gus gives her like another big hug, like stops thinking about it.
Dex, you walk out. You see the gondola has returned to this side. Is being loaded up with supplies. What did you get on your observe test?
Is this opposed?
No, but it was at a -2.
Oh, it's at a -2? Okay, so then I do have to spend 2 grit to count these 11s.
I will take the recommendation. Chat. Eloise, you get a grit.
Thank you.
I see more than any man has ever seen. I have 5 hits on Observe.
Excellent. Dex, you see many things. The first thing you see is the soldiers on this end of the gondola are on edge. Potentially because they've started using the gondola without Eloise's supervision.
Mhm.
You see 4 soldiers on guard as other soldiers load things into the gondola supply run across the room. The other thing you notice is that there's 6 soldiers on the other side of the ridge who came with just enough supplies for them to make it to Waypoint without anyone else. And by the time you leave the captain's tent, they're already on the way. You see them, they have their stuff, they've made it out of the gondola, they've double checked, and they're moving on. Sergeant Walters, Private Key, Corporal Northrop, Corporal Yeager, Private Amethyst, and Corporal Michaels are leading on their own journey, separate from the rest of the camp. And they have the body of Jack Taylor with them. And as they move down the hill out of sight, you see Jack Taylor's body kind of like wrapped up in like, it's not like a blanket on a thing. He's like sealed in a thing. But it is transparent. And the like seal that is like preserving his body is transparent on this hover cart. And there's like a blanket over him that's covering him, but from your angle, you see his feet. And from this distance, you see tattooed on his heel a circular symbol bisected by a rhombus with 3 dots below it. You see the same symbol you saw etched into the guns of the Kenny Mathis. Leaves your line of sight. Realize if you were to try and go after his body right now, would have to kill everyone in this camp. And then take the gondola, chase down the other 6 soldiers, kill all of them. But you also know where that body is going as it leaves your line of sight.
Yeah, I think Dex sees all this, takes it in, looks down and shakes his head. Schaefer, you'll know when I knock on Brimstone's door. And then I head over to Eloise and Gus because it seems like Eloise might be having a breakdown.
As you walk up, you do hear a couple wails from Eloise. She is down in a couple awkward, like, from Gus. And at this point, Porter, you step out and you see Dex moving towards the tents where the 4 of you have been resting.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Bang.
Carnaxus gave you another grit, Eloise.
Yay, Carnaxus.
It's going to be so bad for this fool when I knock on Brimstone's door.
Yeah.
I was so glad I had this bowl of popcorn. I could just sit back and eat it and watch this spicy role play. Beautiful.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So we have some Q&A. I know there's some stuff in the Discord, so let me take a look at that. Those Dexes.
Oh, yeah.
In the chat.
The first one might not be Alvin and the Chipmunks. There might be one that snuck in under that one.
I think Mazako.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh, that's fun.
So Mazako asks, Argalam says, I may have thrown 2 weeks. Mazako asks, have any video game consoles managed to survive the fall? We would pass this on to Ad.
Sure. So I think by the fall that means like the departure and subsequent like desolation of technology from the factory wars. And the answer is sort of. Most of the sort of like video games are more like arcade boxes that would have been in the casinos of the larger ships that headed through the wormhole. So like the rich people ships that came here. So there's like, I like the idea, though it isn't entirely canon, that there's like one video casino and like video game arcade in Freedom City, Liberty City, whichever one is
Freedom is Vegas.
Freedom City. Yeah, Freedom City, where it's like a big thing because there's not really like television or anything like that in the greater area of Manifest. So like having like there's like Nickelodeons in some of the larger, like really larger settlements, like the richer settlements, but there's not the same like style movies or television. It's sort of like that's the medium that has been completely lost. And so like it's like a big draw to like go to Freedom City and go to like, I don't know, like Video Box World or something like crazy stupid like that.
Blockbuster.
They called it Blockbuster. They called it Blockbuster. And like play games there. Like everything from like video poker to like Pong and like Deer Hunter, right? But like in like Ms. Pac-Man. Lots of like 8-bit to like N64 stuff. But yeah, there's not like video game consoles unless there's like a remnant somewhere of like a ship that had like
So I was gonna say I have obviously not nearly as much influence on Manifest lore as you do, Addy, but I will posit that there's a library that has a Nokia G500 from before the departure, and you can play Snake on it if you've done good in your studies.
Oh.
I think there's probably like Snake competitions in that in
it's
like,
a big deal. It's the primary recreation activity.
They call it Ocarino.
No, they call it Snake because it says Snake when you select it, but they don't know why it's called Snake because they've never seen a snake that does that. All the snakes on Manifest are in hoops.
Yeah,
yeah. I will say it's worth noting that through all of that talk, there is no indication whatsoever that the people of Manifest came from Earth.
That's true.
So whatever may or may not exist on Earth doesn't necessarily translate into what arrived on Manifest before the departure. Wow. Because the home world might not be Earth.
Yeah, it's only
Nokia G500 space.
There you go. Thank you.
Tommy is right. The home world has only ever been in canon referred to as the home world or the old. It's never been called like Earth. The sun from that galaxy has never been called like Sol. So it is totally
Earth-like.
Yeah, it is an Earth-like place, but who knows? Who knows where they came from?
All right, we got a few things from Arget Lom. The first one is a good old-fashioned Arget Lom Let's Build. And it's Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I mean, it's your standard grifter, tinkerer, beef boy.
Yeah, kind of like for all of them, right? Like,
Wait, I'm sorry. Who's the beef boy in Alvin and the Chipmunks?
The
Theodore?
little one, Theodore.
You're looking at
Theodore.
the
Yeah, because he's always eating. He's eating and he's round.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine Theodore punching somebody now. Oh boy.
Well, I mean, he maybe doesn't have brawn. He might just have durability and he can eat anything.
Yeah.
What's that talent? The talent where you can eat anything.
there's one. It's called Iron
Is there?
Gut. Iron Gut.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It gives you an automatic success to any negate test on anything you ingest.
Yep, there
That
it is.
way, if you eat something bad, you can be like, it's fine. Oh, that's great.
Maybe barrel chested.
I like it. Yeah, it's hard because, like, yeah. So Theodore is athletic, so like brawn and hardiness makes sense. Simon is smarter, so like good old. Oh, I'm Seth now. Boy, I can't do an Irish accent.
Yeah,
Something.
everybody shifts when Dan loses
Do I have
his
a
video.
Yeah. I need to find a pink wig. I'm Addie.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm just still boring old Gus.
Yeah, you're just you, man.
Same.
Ew.
Oh,
Oh,
there he
no.
goes.
Oh no.
Now
This
it's all
this
over.
is where we're at.
Let's cut somebody in half.
Okay, all right, okay. This is bad.
Or wait, no, it's actually this way.
So wait, there is a think you can go to the other setup that we have.
Oh, he's back. Okay, all right, okay. We're
well.
all here.
All right.
And I hung up and I was like, okay, I'll try and get back in. But then it was like, you're still in the call. And that was confusing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Argot Lam, I don't know if there's a lot we can do with Alvin and the Chipmunks. I mean, like, so Simon has know-how. Alvin definitely has moxie, and Theodore definitely has maybe hardiness and brawn. But other
I
than
think
that,
they all might have moxie.
they all
is
might
the
have
thing.
moxie because they're
Yeah.
performers.
They can all sing,
Yeah.
Y'all know so much more about Alvin and the Chipmunks than I do.
Look, I have a
did
Wikipedia
research.
page up right here.
Yeah.
See, what's funny? I looked up the Chipettes to see if there's any like discernible difference, and the only one I found is that Eleanor can cook, but
Oh.
everything else is pretty solid
No
allegory.
talent support for that, unfortunately. Yeah.
Not yet. The number of times people cook on Manifest, and we have to be like, I guess it's this one. I mean, let's just make a cooking talent and get it over with.
Hey, you know what? There will eventually be a source book, and that source book may or may not have a path of the cook.
I've been in that pitch meeting. I've heard it thrown around.
Yeah, no,
A lot of
the
good ideas bouncing around.
Chipettes are the classic Huey, Dewey, Louie, April, May, June. It's the same thing, but for
Sure.
chipmunks.
Yeah.
Even oh gosh, what was their name? What was their dad's name? I always
Oh.
wanted Eric because he looks like Prince Eric, but it's not.
Dave,
Doug.
yeah.
Yeah, Dave, that's right. And Dave, right? Anyway,
Yeah,
but
that's
they even
what-
have their like the Chipettes counterpart is like
No,
Donna or something. Like it's like
Beatrice. It's Miss Beatrice Miller.
yeah, it's like the same. It's just they
What
were
a
like,
name.
this works. Let's make it girls now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but they're not. They're. I guess they're like. If I don't know that they're drifters is the thing. I think that they're. I think they're carnies. I think
Yeah.
they're all carnies.
Wow. Sure.
I
I
think
was-
I don't know if they're carnies. I think they hang out outside the front gate of San Cordero and they live in that hippie artist commune.
I was gonna say I was gonna say urchin because they're all adopted, right?
Yeah, but you don't have. You're not. I mean, they live
Necessarily,
They're
yeah,
not
that's true.
poor after they're adopted.
Yeah.
Good point.
They're
Alright.
famous and rich. It's sort of the point.
So Argalam was looking at the map and asked, what are the storm anomalies on the manifest map? And also asked, is that what Kinsey disappeared?
Ooh.
What
So-
a good and interesting question.
So
Very good question.
I gotta say, like right out the gate, the storm anomalies on that map are not stationary, nor are they consistent. There are storm anomalies around Manifest, around those areas. Basically, the artist wanted to kind of create the notion that we kind of had like a digipaper, right? That like was a map, but also had digital, like a digital interface that gave you like live interactions. And so he put the storm anomalies there as like a thing that like would potentially move around and be like part of that digital interface. I love that. That's canon. And the storm anomalies are part of that. There are weird storm anomalies that can be detected around mana. And I would definitely say that what Kinsey witnessed at the end of season 1 would probably be considered a storm anomaly.
I mean, at the absolute very least, that was an anomalous storm.
Exactly.
True.
That's a great. I didn't even think about that. Solid.
I don't know if anyone has anything else to add.
I mean, I remember some stuff from very early playtests that I won't mention because it is of dubious canonicity, but I will let the people know. There were things that were talked about in the early development of Manifest about what might happen in an anomalous storm. The end. End of sentence. Move on.
Yeah, it's just the genius of Jared Blando. You should go check him out. He's a great.
He did such good work on this map.
my
It's
goodness.
insane.
Yeah.
He's done like a
Wow.
bunch of like RPG maps all over the place. He does a lot of like fiction maps at the beginning of books, which are the second best part of all books is having a map in the front. So the first part is the words. And so you should go check him out. His name is Jared Blando, and he is amazing.
Does extremely good. He also made
Anomalous-
oh wait, I have it. Here. Made this map. Map of Waypoint. Right there. You're looking at it.
Hey,
Yeah,
I love
Yeah.
that map.
great map.
So good.
Such a good map.
Anomalous Storm is my jazz name.
Yeah,
So
just in
mad.
case anyone's wondering, the storm that Kinsey saw was like akin to a dust storm in the middle of the desert. He was long since dehydrated and famished. Saw the storm, he went into it, the sand and winds parted around him. The last thing he saw before we cut away was in the dead of I think the Sulphur Dunes, like the most dead place of the Badlands. He saw green grass and plants. That was the last thing Porter saw. Or,
'Cause he
sorry,
died.
not
Mm-mm,
Porter,
I
not
refuse to believe
Porter.
it.
Kinsey.
Yeah,
Kinsey.
Kinsey. Same
Either
same
died
actor,
or
Porter's
different
definitely
character.
not
something real
Kinsey.
No,
cool.
different people.
All right, cool. And then another one from Argotlam, the last one, is how many cubes would it take to upgrade either the Ramblin' Retail Wagon or Gus's car to be equivalent to a mid World War II battle tank?
I have been sitting here doing some of the math on this. May I show you my
Ooh.
findings?
Yeah.
Please present.
So there's no way any vehicle has the mod points for these, but theoretically, you'd need a weapon turret, 15 machinery cubes. You need treads, 8 more. Armoring, 6 more. And then like passenger weapon, so like 29 minimum. A passenger weapon is another 9. You might want like 2 of those. Off-road suspension, probably you want.
Well, yeah. Well, no. You have treads. at
Safety
that point.
features
The
you can
tread-
leave or
yeah.
take.
The treads
Oh, sure,
actually
sure,
take
yeah.
care of the yeah.
Seatbelts never saved
Okay.
anybody in a tank.
So 29, potentially 38 or 47 if you want like those auxiliary turrets on the side, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd also say in this particular instance, if you wanted to take a wagon or a car and turn it into a tank, the mechanical best way to do it would probably be to salvage the.
Yeah, it's just like break down the car and build a van, right?
Yeah, because you want to start with a van. If you're doing a land vehicle and you want to have it be like the hardiest it can be, you want a van. So you take like Gus's car, you salvage it, you roll a few tests to like get cubes out of it, and then you pour a bunch of cubes into creating a van, and then also creating a bunch of mods for that van. And that van becomes armored, treads, fucking weapon turret, passenger weapon.
And you probably can't get everything you want to make it like exactly a World War II tank, but you can get meaningfully close.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly.
If anything, you get rid of the turret and you just put somebody up there with like a bulletless.
Yeah, just put a guy with a big gun.
Right, like a bazooka. That'll save you a bunch of mod points.
There you go.
Then get super engine and smoke screen.
Yeah. I've gone deep on what you can do to vehicles in this game. It's wild.
How often
Just gonna
does
say
vehicles have
plane
safety
that-
features?
Plane that crashes into other planes is its primary combat method.
Dana's been pitching me this character for maybe a year.
Yeah, Dan
It just-
has found a way to make a plane that can kill other planes. But the only question I ever have is, in what campaign?
Yeah, no. I'm not telling you that this guy fits everywhere. But the one that he does fit in is bonkers.
It's like a Factory Wars era manifest
Yes,
campaign.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Everybody has a
I
transatlantic
volunteer. I
accent.
really want to play that.
A
sounds rad.
Fort Dearborn dagger pilot
Red
who's
Baron.
flying around like a specialized air vehicle that just runs through other planes and kills them.
Yeah, but everybody talks like they're like Katharine Hepburn, and it's like a transatlantic accent. We've got to go fight the Alanastead people because otherwise, who knows what'll happen, James? You know.
The city's getting a little jumpy for me, see?
All right. I see one shot material coming up here.
Yes.
We need more what's the Shadowrun one? We need the manifest version of Bubba Guns.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What we need is Rika Kasich Adventures.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, indeed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. You have another one from Margaret Lum. No, that's it for the questions in the Discord. So if any of you in the chat have a question, I do see the Crimson Arrow as which is what that's a fucking deep cut Essential NPCs reference. Isn't that what? No. God, no. Wait. That's absolutely not a thing we aired. That's from a private Shadowrun campaign. That was Covert's character in a non-published, like just a private Shadowrun campaign.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he was the Crimson Death.
Crimson Death. But he used
But
a bow
he
and
used
arrow.
a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's what was going on in my mind there. That was the wires that were being crossed there, as Argatlam suggests. Crimson Arrow, great minds, hell yeah. Cool. So if any of you in the chat have a question for any of us, or anything to do with Manifest or anything at all, throw it in the chat. We will answer your questions. A little bit of time as I go and double check, though the past couple weeks has been no one else doing up at the hour
Because they're
week.
too afraid to go against us, is what I will tell myself.
Got a stranglehold on the economy for this one.
Oh, there's way more than one.
Maybe
A
they're on
challenger
every other.
approaches.
Yeah, but while we're waiting for questions and while Tommy is looking for a place to raid, just remember to like, share, and subscribe if you
Yeah.
can. Every all any money we get from you all goes directly back into the stream for cool art or like a cosplay or like better gear or equipment. Basically to make your experience better. Also, if you like, follow, and subscribe, and you have and you like watching us, watch with your friends next week. Bring them on over, and bring a friend next week. And then the other thing, of course, we have our social media. Don't forget that Roman's podcast, All Sequels Go to Heaven, episode 99, which was, oh no, I forgot what the episode
Cars
was.
3.
Cars 3, the Not International Spy sequel.
And go back and find Addie talking to us about Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Oh, yeah, I did that. It was very fun.
And Dan talking about Star Trek Beyond.
It was a fun time. It was a fun, weird time.
But that drops. It's called All Sequels Go to Heaven. You can check them out anywhere you can find podcasts. And then Tommy will be streaming this weekend, Saturday night, on his channel, The Jolly Poncho. You can go follow now so you won't forget, so you get those cool reminders. And hopefully we will see you guys next week because you all rock.
Yeah. Tommy, can I make a suggestion of who we raid? Well, it's I've got some friends streaming right now, looks like.
Are they streaming RPG?
Yeah, this channel, Life Action Roleplay. This is some folks that I LARPed with out in California.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Let's
Let me
do
find it.
it.
Up towards the top, looks like.
That's great.
Life Action.
The channel, the stream right now is called like Boardroom Armageddon.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see him. Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet. Let's fucking
Nice.
raid these people. All right.
We did it.
All right. So Addie gave us the whole this is what we're on next. We're gonna see you all next week. We love you all. Thank you so much.
We do.
Also, like a million years ago, Ryak, if you're still in the chat, thank you for the what is it? 1,000 bits? Yeah, thank you for the 1,000 bits, Ryak. You're so fucking all right, and we got emotes. All right, we're gonna jump into life action role play. These are some people who Roman knows from his LARPing times in the grand old state of California.
So bad. The state, California.
California.
Ancient land.
Tucson, Arizona.
Exactly. You saw what I was going for there, Roman.
Yeah. Shoot Jackie
This is just
Daytona,
how
human
we
Twitch
talk.
streamer.
I was doing a Jackie Daytona. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So we're gonna jump in there. Obviously it's RPG, so like they're gonna probably continue to do what they do, but throw all the emotes you got in the chat. Give them love. If you like what they're doing, if you like what they got going on, hang out. And if it doesn't, scratch the itch that you're looking for, or you're tired because it's really late, go to bed. It's fine. But throw some love their way because they're cool people, and anyone who's streaming RPGs after midnight, I think they're pretty cool. So let's go give them some love. Thank you all so much. We love you. We love you. We'll see you next week. All right, here we go. Starting the raid. Let's go. All right, I got 1 viewer ready, 5 viewer ready, 6, 10. All right, here we go. We're all going to jump in the raid. Hey, if you join the raid, you get more channel points and you can give more grit next time.
You can use it to give us grit and not Tommy.
We might have some stuff coming up that you can also
all right.
spend it on.
We love you all so much. Have a good night. Thank you. Have some fun in this chat. Bye.
Bye.
We're in. I'm in.